there's a value in networking.
I like in-person dealing more now with the shows.
There was a lot of foul activity going on, and no one's talking about it.
I feel like I see less patience in the hobby today. I want to get your thoughts on it. When you hear of the large dollar amounts now around PMGs, what do you think?
What it takes for someone to spend that much money on any card.
Fanatics did something tonight I had never heard about. They have a lottery.
We got you on the lot.
Oh my goodness, we're both on the line.
Hey,
I don't think that the fact that they did Be Friends and Jackass is going to have any impact on how they treat sports cards.
you got to let the people know who you're rolling with, man.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
Hello, everyone. What's up? How y'all doing? It's Tuesday night. So the Miami Heat just beat the Boston Celtics. What was the point there? Was it the point difference? 11 points, 118 to 107. Let me hear from all my Boston Celtics, Miami Heat fans. Trader Griff says Celtics look like garbage, but missing two starters. Hope they are back soon. I kind of think Celtics did not look good. I kind of think this is going to be a long series, though. Hopefully, the Celtics get their people back. Oh, Miami will keep doing what they're doing. Miami came out and handled their business, was sound. It'd be interesting to see. It's also going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. But this was very interesting to see. K. Campbell says, "Let's go Heat, baby." Jimmy buckets. You know what's cool about Jimmy is that being a Bulls fan, I remember when he was coming off the bench with the Bulls, but you could always see something different about him. He wanted more. You could also see when he started to get better, him and Derrick Rose kind of went head to head sometimes. So it's good. It's good to see him doing what he's doing, and as well as his background story. I mean, you know Jimmy Butler's background and where he came from and what he's went through. He's done a lot. Lord Pokeball, go Mavs. Okay. I see what happens tomorrow, Lord Pokeball. Let's see what happens tomorrow. All right, to the moon. What's up, FD? I see you in Dallas. What's up, to the moon? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. I know this Dallas show is going to be exciting, so it's good to see you, man. What's up, FD? What you know? And, I want to bring in our guest. J. Mike is always welcome on What's the Play Roll with FD. And tonight we're going to get into some good topics here. Hey, Mike.
What's going on, man?
What's up with you?
Not much.
Big bench energy.
There we go.
I've been watching your videos, man.
Yeah, lifting a lot of weight right now.
I can tell. Yeah. With ease.
Yeah, I'm trying to get healthy, man. I've been injured for the last 6 months, so
how's your shoulder feeling? How's your shoulder doing?
It's still like 75%.
Okay.
But I mean, hey, Tom Brady, he's
that's what I'm saying, right?
To perform. So
Tom Brady, right, gives us all hope.
I'm going for my 7th ring.
I like that. We got K. Campbell. What's going on with this marking stuff, and what exactly is marking? What is marking? Oh, we're talking about who was this?
They're talking about that breaking situation.
We're talking about platinum cards.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Let's start talking about that.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, cool.
Yep, crystal clear. So Platinum was accused of marking some cards and kind of put them to the side, right?
Well, it looked he did something slick with the trash can or something.
Yeah, like he was throwing something away, but it was something in there, redemption or something.
Yeah.
So I read their statement tonight that was on Card Porn. I saw it on Card Porn on Instagram, and they were saying that I guess this is all kind of made up, not real. Let me see if I can find their statement so we can kind of go through this a little bit. All right. So this is their statement. This is from David, the president of Platinum Card Breaks. I apologize for the delayed response. I have a social media director who runs the IG account, and I was not aware of your message until I saw your IG post today. There is no explanation for the meritless claims of quote-unquote switching cards. The issue in question is an isolated incident where G made an honest mistake of accidentally throwing away box containing redemption during a break. I happened to be watching a live stream during the break and pointed this out to him on the live feed chat immediately after it happened. G was sloppy, fast, and careless during the break. While our style is not for everyone, we have run an upstanding and integritous breaking operation in the past 8+ years. No matter how bad your situation looked, nothing was done maliciously or intentionally. We know who we are, and while we apologize for the mistake of carelessness, our apology does not extend any further. I take serious regard to this issue, and I'm addressing this incident internally to ensure this carelessness does not happen again. Now, I've also heard, I don't know if this is true, that Platinum removed some video so that I guess certain things couldn't be seen.
I mean, what product was it?
That I don't know. Let me see here. Yeah, I would assume high end, but I don't know.
But you know what's interesting I find about the breaking stuff is that the one breaker that I trust is Pac-Man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That guy so genuine.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I was listening. Actually, I was listening to people talk about people who pay for followers and stuff like that. That kid didn't pay for no followers. If you watch his stream, the way he is comes off very clean, very trustworthy.
Yes.
He also shows the cards at all time. He has 2 cameras.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's very careful with how he handles the cards. You know what I'm saying? So he always shows the box empty at the end. You know, because at first I'm a little skeptical about a lot of that stuff, and I personally rather buy the box.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my personality. I don't think I have the personality for that type of deal. But if someone pulled that card out of NT, they were going to expect to get that card unless they never showed the card. If it's a situation where the card was broken, like if I have the Chicago Bears, it was a Justin Fields, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So if I have the Chicago Bears, I'm gonna be like, yo, where my RPA at? Where my redemption at? You know what I'm saying? That's going to get said. So I think that some people are jumping, and this also goes back to the backyard breaker thing too. I think people are jumping at situations to point a finger at, and it's one of those things where it would have played out the way it should have played out. You know what I'm saying? Like if that card was exposed on camera, I don't think it must not have been exposed on camera, because if it was and it got thrown away, it would have showed up.
Yeah, I just that just seems to me. Let's just get right into this. Like, it seems to me like there is a sentiment about breakers. The people are just saying there's a level of shadiness with breakers, mm-hmm. and I'm going to find the shadiness and point it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see all the time. Like, I'm not shocked each week if I hear someone that's saying something about a breaker.
Yeah, but you know, if I was a breaker and I reached a certain level, I would change my format to the point to where there would be a super premium to be in my breaks. Because if it's so shady across the board, you hear people talking about. So say for instance, let's say a box costs $2,000, right? It cost me $2,000, and I'm gonna sell the spots to my audience, right?
Yeah.
I gotta make at least $500 off that box. So I don't know how that's gonna happen, how we're gonna divide and go through the motions, but I need at least $500 off that box. But if you're looking at the way people ship the cards, the timeliness they ship the cards, the type of product you're getting, because I do believe the distributors and the companies know who are getting what boxes. I do believe that.
Okay.
I believe that
this came up in a conversation I was in yesterday as well.
Because if you think about it, the logo man pops up in a situation where the boxes were given to the people.
Yeah.
And it seems very intentional. And the reason why I know this is that, you know, I'm involved in a car company, and knowing how the cars are cut, how things are prepped, how they come up with the serial numbers, or how they come up with who gets what, the rarities and things of that nature. You could, when those cars are being cut, you know where the card is. Someone knew where the card was. So the card was cut and packaged. Hey, bring that here. So you don't, it only makes sense for it to have been out of the people. Now I think about it, you'd be crazy to think that it wasn't some level of they knew where that car was going, or to where, because also they want to make sure that car was documented too. Yeah. So if it's just a box that's laying around, never broken, then they had to break it. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many levels to this stuff. It's like you gotta you know, use your brain a little bit and think that this stuff is happening. Also, I talked about this in my last video.
Yeah.
Where people want the I don't like using hobby, but I'll use it in this case. Where they want the hobby to go long term. They want the hobby to be cool. They want it to be something that people want to participate in. Imagine if that box gets broken by the breaker who's like, okay, we have Raleigh Fingers. This is a very good card. Good job, Kevin out of Toronto. Oh my God! The logo man, right?
Yeah.
It went to someone who's going to get hyped. It went stupid. It gave the energy to make it feel like it's a $5 million card.
It's a part of marketing, right?
100%.
It's a hype. It hypes it up. It makes sure that it hits proper social media. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be wherever you want to see it at, instead of someone's basement who does nothing on any kind of platform.
And you know something I never thought about this until just now. Are there people pooling together like they do for the lottery? Like, hey, 100 people, let's put in on this box. I'm
pretty sure it's there.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard people doing it to that extent where it's like 20 people, 30 people. Let's get 5 boxes. Everybody put in X amount of dollars and pool our money together. And then if we pull one of these things, we sell it, we auction off and split the money. And then, see, the one thing about sport cards in terms of a gamble, like someone said, is legalized betting. The one main thing about the hobby is that when you open up those packs, you might not get the card you want, but you got some cards. And those cards have some value. You can get some of your money back. Now, it might be like Mosaic or something. You spend $600 for a hobby box and you get $35 worth of value back. But there's still something coming back. When you lose your money on a straight bet, that money's gone. You know what I'm saying?
So Baker Boy says no. It was a national treasure football. It was the redemption card was seen on camera by the whole room. The whole room was in on it. People go to jail for less. I just wonder. Now I'm just going to talk about like legally, right? Is there some kind of paperwork or some kind of contract between? What is the legal ramifications of doing a break and holding back some cards? Let's just talk about that. What's the legal ramifications? I do not know. Is there an agreement? Like those who are involved, who sign into a break, do you agree to some kind of agreement before you get into that break?
They probably don't go to that level, but like as a personal trainer, there's a contract that you sign. Like, say, for instance, I get somebody off the street. I ask them, I go through assessment, like, hey, any injuries, blah, blah, blah. I have a little sheet of paper that states like, hey, you know, I'm not responsible if you get injured, blah, blah, blah. The gym that I lease space out of, they have paperwork that basically excuse them from all
harm, all fault.
You know what I'm saying? So it's only in those situations. So also I saw a break where someone dropped a very expensive card and like banged the corner on it bad. Like bad. Let's say it could have been a 10. It was now a 5. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you drop that card, I would have paperwork if I was doing that. But
I don't think, J-Mike, I don't think this stuff exists right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think people are winging it. I
think I could pull out a National Treasures RPA out of 99 or somebody. Like you said, drop that card, damage it. Now it's a 5, 6, or a 7. And you take that 5, 6, or a 7 home.
Actually, the one person I knew, I think Pac-Man did it, and he reimbursed the spot or something. It was something I think he did where I think a car got damaged or something. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'll cover the cost of the car or market value, something he did. Because I remember watching how he was maneuvering. Because at first I couldn't believe how these people spend this type of money. Like, I'm just like, these people are doing these breaks. This is big money. And I've watched it just go up, 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 up. And also one of the things that made me pay more and more attention, like I buy like thousands. Like I have probably about 20,000 sleeves.
Yeah.
I sleeve up everything.
We joked before, you stay sleeved up.
But the one thing I was looking at, people watch some of these breakers who are playing with big money. Mm-hmm. They're like battling over. He gets a Justin Fields base gets a I'll give it a sleeve. I'm giving it a sleeve, a top loader, and
every time. Yep.
And I'm seeing, but what you're starting to see is you see these little kids are influenced by the stuff they're seeing, and they're not taking care of the cards. They're disrespecting the cards. They're doing a bunch of things that you're like, wait a minute, man. Like, you don't have it like that. That card costs you, if you buy a box of Mosaic football, you're looking at $2 a card on average. If you're paying that much for a card on average, you should be sleeving up every single card. Yeah. I learned my lesson back in 2012 with Topps Heritage. I didn't know who Mike Trout was. I knew who Mark Trumbull was. So, but the one thing I did, I started going through and I'm like, who are these people? I had no idea who none of these players were. So I said, you know what? Everybody get a sleeve. And I wound up having 6 Mike Trout rookies that are all in perfect shape because I took that approach. So now that's what I do. But actually, I did a video on it recently talking about the biggest play in a hobby. It's a clean play. It's not like you're not gonna make a whole bunch of money on this.
What is it? Donruss basketball?
It's Donruss flood packs, right?
Okay.
They're 99 cents at GameStop. They come with 48 packs. $48 comes up to $52. Now, for whatever reason, I have been let's see if I can show you. So for whatever reason, I was drawn to the color yellow, and I was just like looking. I was like, man, that's a nice Kane Cunningham. Well, this card sells for like $60, right?
Yes.
So I started looking at all the top rookies. I had no idea where the cards came from. I thought it was like a specialty edition. I didn't think it was going to be the 99-cent box. So I purchased one, and I was like, damn. I was like, these are way more expensive. So I go into GameStop and they had some. I'm thinking, how much are they? $2.99, $3.99? They said no, they're 99 cents. So that was like, damn. So I went and got them all. I went all over Houston. I got about 500 of them, right? I opened up every last one of them. Of course I did. I'm a trick. I opened up all of them.
I know how you roll. Yeah.
But I got all. But if you think about it, I was able to get my money back. I was able to actually get my money back on product. But then you look on eBay, they sell for $2 a pack clean. So if you're somebody who doesn't have, like I watched Gin and Juice open up that F1 shit the other day. That was ridiculous. But if you don't have that type of money, you should be in this. This is where you need to be at. And this type of stuff. This type of stuff, you can get good product. If you have to sell some of the packs, you can cover your couple packs. If you pull a Cade Cunningham out of your first 3-4 packs, sell the rest on eBay. You know what I'm saying? We have to be smarter and can't be influenced by people who are playing a different ballpark.
Whole different strategy, right? Whole different strategy. Hey, J. Mike, I think is your internet frames kind of flowing?
Nah, It's
And
fine.
can you see me well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Trader Griff says, let's be real, Backyard Breakers are the antithesis of cool, straight up clownery on their breaks. But that
They're not getting it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That makes people watch. The screaming, the yelling, the guy with the half shirt on, some people with no shirts on, people running around. If we, J Mike just said something, if we sat here and we said, I have this card, I have that card, and then let's say you hit a big card and you're like, wow, this is a big card. Nobody's really watching that.
At all.
Nobody's watching.
I give you an example. When I came back into getting the new stuff, I was messing with Pokemon, right? And I said the gin and juice situation because they're opening up this NASCAR stuff or whatever they open up. They don't know anything about it. It's basically they're opening up product. And it's like, whoa, I guess this is pretty cool. I'm opening up product of Pokemon and I hit the Rainbow Pikachu and I recorded it. I never put it out, but I was like, oh, got a Pikachu. But then I got some worthless some card, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And they was like, dude, you just pulled a $500 card. I had no idea, right? So it's kind of like one of those things where if you're looking and want to be inspired to buy, because that's all this is, it's you want people to put you in a mood to want to participate. The Backyard Breakers are frat boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this in the video I did the other day. I think those dudes are idiots, right? But being an idiot is a part of life. You know what I'm saying? And I think at some point, everybody has that in them.
Let's break it down, though. Let's break it down, Lon. Is that relatable, though?
Yes, it's relatable. It's
very much relatable.
It's
relatable. Either you feel like that or you know someone that reminds you of these people. That's breaking.
All right. So this is difficult.
I can tell you this. I can just say this. We were at the Mint, right? Walking, and I looked to my left, and Backyard Breaks is right here. I mean, literally a foot or two away. They're nothing like they are on camera.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero. Totally different people. Walking around having conversations, and we could have talked to them if I was so inspired to. So it's an act.
It's a stick.
Yeah.
But we have to be all right. So this is the thing that I looked at. Like I watched those guys at first, and I was like listening to them. I'm like, okay, they're really not my cup of tea. But I'm listening to them, and I'm like getting a vibe from them that they like party, they have girlfriends, they do other things outside of the hobby or the community. That is attractive. I want to tell a story. I did a video on it. I hadn't released it yet, but if you notice when I post videos, sometimes I'm listening to podcasts or YouTube channels and things of that nature. Yeah. And someone commented and said, "Who are those nerds talking in the back of your video?" I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I heard some dude talking about the market and this and that." She was talking about Raul, right? Because I was watching one of his videos while I was bench pressing, right?
Okay.
And I thought about it, and I said, and then I had another video. She said, I heard another one of your videos, and they had this guy talking about how he wanted to promote the hobby. He was talking about the great curator. She was talking about the great curator.
Okay.
Basically, she said they sound like nerds bickering, right? Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, it's like one of those things where, and I don't want to. I'm a name names. That's kind of how I roll. But so
go ahead, J Mike. Go ahead.
So it's one of those things where if you listen, if other people listen to your conversation, it sounds like the Revenge of the Nerds going back and forth. That is not cool. That's not something that other people who are not in grounded in the community will want to participate in. Like if you hear someone make a lot of noise or draw attention to themselves, you want to look, investigate. Yeah. Like, hey, what's going on over there? They need eyes. eyes. And once you get the eyes, people then can make a decision if they want to be a part of it or not. It can't be all these stuffy people who are like, oh my God, those guys they're just not my cup of tea. They made a mistake. I will never spend my money with, they don't want you no more. You could clearly see where they're going in the future. The only way they get their return on their investment is if they bring new eyes in. Your eyes and most of the people's eyes are too mature for what they're trying to do. So you have to stay in your pockets. Stay where, collect the stuff that you want to collect. But if you're expecting them to just to cater to you, it's not going to happen. It's going to be a get down, a lay down situation. You're going to have car breaks done in strip clubs. You're going to have weed sessions with people smoking weed and opening up packs. It's not going to be the most little kid friendly thing going on. If you listen to Josh Luber, he said he wants Drake and the Migos with their sport card. That's what all this is about. That's what he said out of his own mouth. The reason why he said, because those people they're trying to get people into it, but it's nothing like opening up product when you're in the product. And you know how I know that's the case?
Because you're in the product. Yeah. When
you're in the product, you have a different level of wanting to be involved.
True.
Yes, I'm gonna make that. Hey, if you told Drake right now, hey, could you make a post about this new cool friends, whatever? He's gonna hit you over the head with it. But you know, if he's in the set, he's gonna want to promote it because he's gonna want it successful.
So, he's probably, just like we talked about before, he's probably gonna have a say so in the design of the car, what the car looks like, feels like, everything going on. Because so Trader Griff says here, people watch Striker Breaks and he doesn't act like a freshman getting drunk the first time. So I pulled up while we've been going here, I pull up Striker Breaks. What I want people to understand, and I know this is what J. Mike is saying, is that, right? Some people drink Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, Pepsi 1, Coke 1, Diet Coke. There are many different varieties of product that is on the shelf. You go look at bread. You got some gluten-free bread. You got wheat bread. Some people still rolling with white bread, right? Fanatics is going to put different pieces of product out there for different demographics of people, right? So I don't know how I can say, like, if somebody is eating gluten-free or somebody now is on soy milk, man, you're not drinking vitamin D. Vitamin D is still on the shelf. You go in the store.
Yeah.
Right? That's the same way this thing here is going to break down. We haven't even gotten into Zero Cool and everything that's going on with that. There are going to be products that are going to be put out that is not for the person who watched Bo Jackson hit his first home run.
Not at all. Not at all.
And we just got to get that in our heads.
But if you're one of those people, so I turned 45 in a couple of like 2 or 3 months, right?
And I'm a little bit older than you. Yep.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep. But I'm very young in the sense that I've collected. I was in the sneaker culture. I didn't have kids until late. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot about me was very like always, and I look young, so I always was in that little mix. But I'm not a person. If you listen to my videos, the stuff I'm talking about, I'm the same way. I'm extremely conservative. Mm-hmm. I'm very well spoken, very well drawn out when I speak. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, yo, man, what's going on? But I know that would change. Like if I was a little more energetic, I did a couple of more things. I flexed and I did all kind of weird shit when I
rip your shirt off and just.
I could do that, and I might do a parody of what. So as a young person, I never had a shirt on. I look like one of those Q dogs or something.
That's
I
right,
never had clothes on.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where the person I am now, and then if you think about, I'm a sponsored athlete in a whole nother sport. I'm a professional athlete. I have to conduct myself a certain way. So I'm very careful how material comes out about me. So when people, because I have people sometimes say, hey man, your videos are too long or whatever. You don't have no music in the background. That's why people don't watch you. I'm benching 600 and some pounds. I'm more or less worried about the product. You know what I'm saying? But
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
if I want to grow, I have to do some more theatrics. I have to sniff smelling salts. I have to scream and have some
smack yourself. You're right. And do
I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But that's what people want you to do.
Yep.
But see, I know that. And I choose not to do that. And when you choose not to do something, that is on you. So I can't complain that I'm not getting the views. Like what like I said in the video, the people who have clout now under normal circumstances would not be clouted. And I think that's what they're scared of. Some of these people have built their 3,000 to 5,000 channel, 3,000 to 5,000 follower channels, and they feel like they're about to get left because you're going to see people with these more eccentric personalities take off, and they're like, wait a minute, I'm cool. You were cool like Urkel was cool when he became Stephon. That's not real cool. This is cool in this little community. It's something else to be cool everywhere you go. See, the one thing I said about you and Steve, Flipping Steve, you're a dominant presence. When you walk in a room, you know FD is in the room.
Yeah.
People can't buy that. That's star power, that's presence. So when you listen to these people talk, like I was listening to Flipping Steve, he understands. You know why? He works in a casino. He hears all types of stories, all types of life. Like I know his whole spiel. He's like, hey man, I got this real job, my career, blackjack table, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go hang with these young kids, play some basketball, go walk in the water. He is so funny and so entertaining. He's not even trying.
And the cool thing about Flippin' Steve is that he is being himself.
100%. Yes.
100%.
I love that. And like I said, I was drawn to you as well as him. And also Mojo. I
Mojo.
like Mojo. Yeah. I feel he's genuine. Like I don't know what the thing he did with the autographs when he was a kid. That's whatever. Like photography, whatever. I get that, but I'm not judging him on that.
Yeah.
The thing that what I think people should really get to understand of listening to Josh Luber. Josh Luber actually bought my Allen Iverson PSA 10 Topps Chrome rookie card from me. He robbed me. It was before the market. It was in 2019. He bought that card for me for $100. That card spiked up to $20,000 during the boom. So he knows what's going on. I heard people say he knows nothing about cards. He knew enough to get that card for me for $100. You know what I'm saying? But I'm listening to it and I'm like trying to piece together. They're looking at sneaker culture and our culture or hip hop culture. That's the cool they want to bring in. If they're able to do that, a lot of people are going to be threatened because they're not that. I think that people are going to have to figure out how they want to collect, how and what they want to listen to. When you start talking about what they call it, scholarly content.
Yeah, scholarly content. Yes.
Nobody want to hear that shit, man. Like nobody want to hear you talk about like, oh well, yeah, the market went up 4.2%. The people who are really affected by the market aren't the people who are going to Walmart and waiting in line and clearing out racks. That's not the people who are affected by the economy like that. So you're talking big picture. You're talking about the people who are making decisions in the boardroom with that, or the people who are buying $20,000, $30,000 worth of cards. Like I told you on the earlier, I had 30% of a crazy amount of cards. I had 30% of that. I did not sell those cards because I didn't feel it was the right time. The guy contacts me and says, listen, just bring back my Jordan and my Nolan Ryan rookie. Keep everything else. Sandy Koufax's autograph, Mickey Mantle autograph cards, Hank Aaron's. It's about $250,000 worth of stuff. He just gave it to me. He was testing me. He wanted to see if I was going to just trick off the Jordan, sell the Jordan, or if I still had the stuff. I didn't do wrong by him. I kept the stuff. I was trying to wait for the perfect time to sell the stuff. We missed out on opportunities. But you know why? He's worth $100 million. He don't care. He didn't care about that stuff. Yeah. He just really wanted to get his cars graded. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things where the people who are really affected by like the stuff Raul talks about a lot, like the market, blah, 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 blah. That's not the people who are clearing out that's not the people who are waiting in line for retail. You're talking, this is that next tier. This is the people who are spending $2,000 for a pack of F1. That's who those people are. Most of us are not playing in that game. And if you think about stimulus money, what does $1,000 get you in the sport car community?
I've always asked this question. I've always asked that question. What do you really, if you got a stimulus check, what are you buying with that? Are you buying something with that? I don't know.
That's 3 pair of shoes, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, how are we doing with that? Like, I just think people need to. I think people have to start being real with themselves. Like,
but let's go back though. You talked about scholarly content. Is there a way? Is there a way to wrap scholarliness into everything else that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a way, right?
Oh, okay. So we're similar age.
Yep.
You have people who are like Nas. Nas is a scholarly gangster.
Yep.
Right?
Yes,
he's someone who's well spoken, well, never went to college, but you could tell he's read books. He talks about all types, the mind, you know, blah blah blah.
He's traveled the world. He's seen things. Yes.
Yeah. Then you got Lil Wayne. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. You have to understand that it's going to come in different ways. How do we receive the information? Sometimes you can give me a lot of information, but if I don't understand it, the information does me no good. We need scholarly, entertaining content. It's just going to look different. It's not going to come from the guy with the button-up polo shirt. It might come from the dude screaming with a belly shirt. That's where that content might come from. So don't just shame those guys. If anything, what I noticed with the Backyard Break situation, they were very tame. And I think the tameness came across, they didn't ask the right question. I think they could have gotten more information for the people who are prospecting fanatics if they would have asked better questions. But you could tell they were being on their best behavior. They were. I noticed that. So if you see that they dialed down or gave their inside voice, you know what I'm saying? I think that affected. I think if they would have went on there and they would have been full on, shirts off, screaming, popping beers, then I would look at Josh Luber a little bit different. That means they don't respect you. If anything, they should have been like, Josh Luber should have told them like, hey, let's drink a beer. Let's like, it should have come from him because he's adjusting. He said the only reason why he went on there is because no one else ever asked him. He said that. And I'm not saying I believe that's 100% true, but I think the fact that you have someone all right, so once again, back to sneaker culture. Sneaker culture is so much different than the energy is different. It's a fresh, like when you go to get your shoes on Saturday mornings in sneaker culture, everybody is dressed up. Like they have like the shoe. People are waiting in line for the shoes that they're waiting on with the shoes on. They got them early, so they come out and stun on everybody who don't have them, and they're waiting to get another pair. The sneaker community, the baseball card community, dirty pair of blue jeans, a hoodie, a baseball cap, and some beat up New Balance, and they're going to clear out the racks in Walmart looking creepy. Because especially... So what you're saying is these are totally different people, or people... I'm going to ask a question. Are these totally different people, or are people approaching the same thing, same person in different ways? The level of person. The cooler people collect sneakers. Yep. Because it's more enriched into our lives. Like sneakers about being fresh. No one gets a pair of sneakers and go run through mud. If you got a fresh pair of sneakers on, I know I don't. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying that's the type of energy that they want to introduce. They want fresh people. They want, like, I can see a situation where, let's say, Puff Daddy does a card opening, or Jay-Z does a card opening. They try to push the line with Drake. Drake is a great artist, but Drake is considered corny by most people in hip hop. Let me just ask you this: you watched the Drake break, right? Yeah. Did he really seem interested? No, he didn't seem interested at all to me. He's also a gambler, though. He is a gambler. He was intrigued by the fact that they had a $4 million card out there. That's what he was doing, and that's his friends. You know what I'm saying? I think that you need the gym, like what's his name? AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon is a collector, and AJ Dillon is out there pulling stunts. Like AJ Dillon's out there getting cards and having his buddy sign them and making them one-on-ones. Like he's looking at it from a business perspective, but he's not Antonio Brown. Like you said, Antonio Brown opened up a case of flawless. It might get some eyes, but he's not going to care about the cards at all. Yeah. But it might be entertaining to hear what he says. Like, oh, look, man, I got this card. This dude's trash. You know what I'm saying? I think we just have to get ready for something. It's not your mom and pop's hobby or community.
And it's not going to be something that you have seen. It's not going to be something that you've seen before.
It has to change. It has to. And I don't know if you saw, starting lines are coming back in September.
Okay.
You know who owns starting lineups now, right?
Yep.
Who?
Who owns starting lineups? Refresh my memory.
Fanatics.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So if Fanatics bought the starting lineups, guess what that means they're gonna have with the cards? I mean, with the figures.
They're gonna have cards in them. Maybe even other stuff.
So the reason why the LeBron James is not worth what it was supposed to be worth because there's no card attached. You can't even compare one of these to this, right? Just look at it. It's not like this actually kind of looks like LeBron slightly. What's going to happen in September? They're going to reintroduce these starting lineups, and they're going to have those new rookie cards that go along with these things. So the rookies that are coming out, that football, basketball, those are going to be unreal. I think this is just my whole thing. I've been waiting on this whole coming. I got thousands of these things ready to go. I think when they reintroduce these with the dolls and the new sport cards, the Prism, it can't be a Prism. They don't have the license for it. So the first couple of years, they might not have the license until when the license. But what's going to happen when they could put the figure in it with the Prism, whatever. That means you're introducing a whole nother market. The marketing for this is going to be different. This is going to be the art market, the Claus dolls. It's going to be completely different. If people are just going to sit up there holding their pearls, clutching their pearls, talking about how it used to be, they're going to get left in the mud. They're going to get left smoking. These people they've invested too much money for this to fail. What they said, they had a thing called too big to fail. That's what the sport market is about to be. They've invested far too much for it to fail.
Let's jump into some comments here. I love podcasts. I'm rolling with FD. Thank you. Rolling with J Mike too. Anyone craft and resubmitting vintage? I haven't done that. Have you done that, J Mike?
Man, I got my vintage ready to go. I've been here.
You had it ready.
All that back there is vintage. We got Al Rosen. I don't even know, 1954, whatever. I got all my old vintage stuff ready to go. I'm about to send it to
you going to PSA? Who are you going to?
SGC.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Like I had the cards. You had to have had the cards. If you're trying to buy the vintage now to flip, I think you might get caught with it. But if you had it already and you can send it off, you might be able to do something.
Baker Boy asked the question, anybody worried about the Warriors? And I think Hero gives the answer. Not at all. Baker Boy, just know. Nobody's worried, man. There's not going to be a Boston Celtics coming out laboring around. So
who won the game tonight? The Heat?
The Heat won. But Boston didn't have Smart or Horford playing. And the Heat won by 11. So the Heat handled their business. Butler had 39 points, shot well, performed well.
Well, I'll say the Dallas Mavericks were tailor-made for the Warriors to win.
That's right.
They have
the best team. That's the best setup for the Warriors to catapult themselves to the final.
Well, they have the most people that can guard Luka.
Yep.
They could throw 5 different bodies.
And that's what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do.
And let everybody else try to beat them. I'm thinking this. That James, you were right about that James Wiseman. I hope you bought those cards.
Oh, I bought cards, sir.
When they add him to this mix,
I think the Warriors are going on another run, man.
I think they are
about to go on another run. At least
the problem is they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay Poole a max contract.
That's what I was telling somebody earlier today. Poole's got to get paid. So then, what happens after that?
Well,
Toscano. There are a few players on that team that have to go.
Well, Scott, he's on a rookie deal. He's on a rookie deal.
Yeah,
still.
he has to go.
No, you got to keep him.
I don't think so, J. Mike.
He's not gonna...
There are people on that bench that have to leave.
No, they do, but you need guys like him because he doesn't make any money. They're gonna have three max players with Draymond, and Andrew Wiggins is the man out. Wiggins is the one that's man out.
He could be, yeah. He could be.
No. It ain't no could be. He's out.
He could be
out.
He could be.
Wait, they can't afford. They can't pay him and pay Poole
unless people restructure their contracts like football.
No one does that.
It's coming in the NBA, J. Mike.
Wait, who?
It's coming in the NBA.
So the only way
you know Tom Brady just took a pay cut, right?
That's Brady. They don't do that in basketball.
It's coming.
No, this is what now. If you say this, if the owners lock the players out and make them like they did in hockey. Hockey did that a few years ago. The money was getting so outrageous that they just locked them out. Now the most you can make in hockey, I think, is 10 years, $110 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if they wind up doing that to the NBA players, that's the only way they could do it.
It's coming. It's coming.
But Steph making 47 because Steph signed.
Steph is the highest paid basketball player in the NBA.
No, but do you know why he's in that position?
Why is that?
He signed the worst deal in NBA history. His first contract, because he was coming off of injuries when he re-signed.
Mm-hmm.
Him, I forgot, it was a bunch of guys. They signed for 5 years, $10 million a year. And when he did that, they signed the new CBA deal, and everybody started making $25 million. So he was making $10 million when he should have been making $25, $30. So this is his get back money. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't get the contract that everybody else got. So he's not going to take the pay cut. Clay doesn't take a pay cut. Clay doesn't take a backseat to nobody. Draymond is the one who doesn't make as much as he could have made.
So who do you think is leaving the team after this year?
Wiggins, 100%.
Okay, who else?
That's it.
Oh, it's got to be more than that. There's going to be more than that.
Think about it. They got a bunch of players on sub deals, and only play. They got rid of Kelly Oubre, who made a little bit of money. They got him out of there.
Yeah, he needed it.
Wiggins is going to get a max contract. Somebody's going to give Wiggins a max contract. It can't
that's
be cool.
I think the Warriors can make it without Wiggins.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
And you also realize they have Wiggins, they have Kuminga. Those two guys are going to be pivotal because if they're able to get them, that's the replacement for Draymond. Because Kuminga, I think Kuminga's a really nice player.
Very nice.
But I think Wiseman is going to be a 20. He's Chris Bosh.
That's right.
So
he's Chris Bosh, David Robinson, and someone else thrown in there. Mm-hmm.
The David, I see that a little bit, but I'm not letting.
And he's a little bit of KG.
He don't have that motor.
Oh, or he will get that motor.
Well, all I'm saying is
you're not going to hang out with Clay and Curry and not. You can get that motor. But
they're not motor people though.
What you mean by they're not motor people?
They're not hot, like Steph. When I think high motor, I'm thinking Pat Beverly. Like always going. Steph
okay, yeah, but I'm talking about wanting to score, seeking the shot, grabbing the rebound, playing defense. I'm not talking about Pat Beverly where no one's guarding you. I get what you're saying about motor, but I'm talking about in the flow of the game, taking over the game.
But that's not how they play.
That is how they play.
They pass.
Yeah, but they
don't dump the ball.
No, they don't have to do all that. Now, this is not how Golden State plays. They don't do all that. This is not physical. They're not dunking on you. They're going to shoot the jump shot and take it down to the other end and play defense.
Yeah, but I think if he does what what's the boy that was in Lob City? Not Blake, the other one. Jordan. If Jordan was satisfied with being a lob basket.
That's his whole career. Yeah.
But he was good with it. If you become a pro at your job, you can be happy in it. But if you think you're like Dwight Howard, thinking that he should get the ball every time down, he could never settle in his second half of his career because he would not play the DeAndre Jordan role. He could have been a 20-point a game, 15 rebounds, 12 rebounds a game if he would have bought into the role. He didn't want that role. He wanted Shaq's role. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the stuff that you got to look at with how these people are viewed. You have to be very careful with certain player types. But I think Kuminga and I think Wiseman can play together.
Oh,
that means one of those guys is going to come off the bench next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because Wiggins is out. Wiggins gone.
Well, I don't know if that's a bad move.
No,
I think Wiggins coming to the Warriors has helped Wiggins more than it's helped the Warriors.
Oh, 100%. But this is what they said. No one expected Jordan Poole to put himself in a position where he's going to get $30 million.
No, not coming from the
they were
league
saying,
and doing what he was doing. No.
They were saying high he would have gotten 4 years, $80 million. Well, that run that he was on is put some they're gonna have to give him $30 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's short because he's gonna be a bench player or coming off third wheel, fourth wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Kerr's gonna have his work cut out for him, making sure everybody's satisfied in that system going forward.
I don't see him coaching that much longer.
You think if they go on another run, he's leaving before they go on that in their run?
He comes off very sickly to me.
He has a bad back issue.
I can see him just chilling out, just retiring.
I don't think you leave those rings, man.
I wouldn't. But he misses games, misses playoff games.
Well, this year he had COVID.
No, but what I'm saying is that he missed games in other times when I don't think his back was hurt. Cool. But he still missed those games. Phil Jackson was damn near standing up in a standing chair winning championships. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get your point. But I think Kerr had back surgery. I think that's why he had step away.
Yeah.
Kuz asks a question here. Curry takes a pay cut to get 5 rings to pass LeBron. I don't know. Assuming
they don't do that in the NBA.
It's coming up.
You're talking about restructuring. That means they're going to lock the players out. That's what you're saying. But the revenue is up.
Yeah, it's not coming next year. But players are going to take control of their careers, J. Mike. If I want to take less money to make sure that you're on my team, I'm going to make sure that you're on my team.
Well, LeBron did that 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When they said, hey, we're all going to take less money and play together.
Yep.
But these people already signed their contracts.
No, I get all that. But it's coming in the NBA. It's coming.
Okay. I mean, I don't see it, especially this is the thing. When millionaires give money back to billionaires, it's very tricky because you have to make sure, Brady was like, look, I'll take less money because he knew this Fox deal was going to be at the back end of this.
Did he really know that? Did he know that 6-7 years ago?
He knew that the championships was where he was going to build his wealth. I think he knew that. You have to think like that in order to take that short money.
Or are you trying to get rings? Could it just be that simple?
No.
I'm trying to win championships.
Brady has clothing lines, TB12.
No, that's now. Yeah, that's all now. But it wasn't like that.
This was planned.
But J. Mike, it wasn't like that when he was taking a pay cut years ago. There was no TB12. There was no clothing line.
You don't think this was in the works? You don't think he thought
about it?
But
you take a pay cut to get that into the works. That's what I'm saying. But you're taking control of your career. Believe me, Kurt Flood and Haywood, there's more things coming where players are going to take control of their career to make sure they know what they're doing. Like right now in basketball, right, no one can play on what Brady playing. But one day they will be able to.
Wait, say that again?
Right now in basketball, no one could plan the strategy that you're talking about Brady laid out because they don't have any control of their career like that. Where they can say, I want to take less money to put a team around me.
LeBron did it.
Yeah, but that's not today. No one today can plan that out because they can't do it. Kirby can't say I'm gonna take less money to make sure Kuminga stays right here on my team. And
No, he
Kuminga
could.
is the kind of play. What's that?
He could.
How could he?
Perfect example. Chris Paul just did it.
Chris Paul did what?
He took less money.
No, Chris Paul wasn't going to get more money, sir. He wasn't going to get more money.
No, he was going to get a max deal.
J. Mike.
Chris Paul was still.
Let's be for real. What year is Chris Paul?
Let's not get caught in the moment. He was the best point guard in basketball.
No.
Who's a better point guard than him?
We could name quite a few that's better than Chris Paul.
Name the point guards who are better than him.
You can name Dame Lillard. You can name Curry.
Dame Lillard is not a point guard. Dame
Lillard is a point guard on paper.
He's a point guard in theory. I'm talking about point guard.
No, I'm talking about point guard. I'm talking about their position is point guard.
But that's different. That's
John Morant. All these players
They're not point guards.
They are point guards, J. Mike.
They're lead guards.
No, there is no position called lead guard.
But if you listen to people and they talk about Chris Paul, they say he's a floor general. John Morant is not a floor general.
What year is he in his career?
Probably he was 2004, 2005 rookie year.
That's right. So he's going to get a max deal?
They were going to give last year. They were going to give it to him.
I don't believe that. That's why.
Hold on. You think Harden's going to get a max deal?
No, he's not.
Why wouldn't he get a max deal?
Do you say he just played?
He averaged 22, 9, and 8.
Okay. Did you say he just played in the playoffs?
No, I hear that. But he averaged 22.
I get all that.
How many people average
as soon as they announce that he doesn't get a max deal, we'll get right back on here.
Hey, we can do that.
He's not getting a max deal.
How many people average 22?
Doesn't really matter. It's about what you do when you get to the playoff. You got to think. Just think about this, right? Butler, what is he averaging? 15 points a game in the regular season?
Wait, who?
Butler. Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy's like an 18 to 22 point a game scorer.
Not in the regular season?
Like his career average is 18, 19 points a game.
Yeah, but what is he doing in the playoffs?
Everybody
that dude had 39 points tonight. Everybody knows Jimmy Butler, and he's even said, I don't give a damn about the regular season. I come out and play in the playoffs. Chris Paul does the exact opposite.
Okay.
The exact opposite. So he's not getting back there.
Where were the Suns before he got there?
You think he's going to be on the Suns next year?
Yes, 100%. He signed a 4-year deal.
I don't care. I don't think so.
He just got a max. He signed a deal.
There have been many players who have signed deals that are not still on those teams.
Wait, hold on. So,
like you just talked about, Harden is not. He just signed a deal. He's not on that team.
No. Harden's a free agent. He has a player option for $47 million, or he could be a free agent.
Okay, but he was under contract when he moved to 2 other teams.
No, he's just been like, I'm gonna get fat and make y'all
That's
trade.
the modern way of getting out of your contract.
So what you think's gonna happen with Chris Paul? You think he's gonna want out of Phoenix?
I don't think he's playing in Phoenix next year. However way it plays out, I don't see him in Phoenix next year.
Do you think they blamed him for this loss?
Do you know he's been on 5 teams that have been up 2-0 and he went home?
Yeah.
Just think about that.
But the flip side is who coached him in those games?
Oh, yeah. The coaches.
Doc Rivers, who's known to do that.
Yep.
Monty Williams.
But what's the common denominator in all of that?
Chris Paul. But you also seen they're big.
But he's also, like you just said, right? He's the floor general.
He is 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But his job is to get other people involved. They had to bench their big.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that in this series. Who did he get involved? After the first 2 games, he played horrible.
Think about this. Do you realize they did not offer him his tender?
Oh, he's not back. He will not be back.
But they have the right to match any offer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think they have the right. They will pay him more than any other team. Correct?
No, he's now a restricted free agent. So, if let's say for instance another team offers him a max contract, let's say they offer him $150 for 5 or whatever the number is,
mm-hmm.
they could match that offer.
Yep. But
he was trying to get that much money and they turned him down. They said they didn't want to give him that much money. But if they re-sign him, then they could trade him. Because they said there are about 10 teams that would give him a max contract.
All I can say is this. I watched the post-game press conference when Booker and CP3 were on the podium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Booker's body language told me this right here. I don't see him playing with CP3.
He's got more easy shots in the last 2 years than he's ever gotten his whole career.
He also has a guy who got to the playoffs, got hurt, got to the playoffs, played horrible.
Did he play well?
Booker? He played way better than Chris Paul, man.
But they both no-show. They both no-show.
I think Booker is you got to think, what year is Booker in his career? 4th, 5th year?
Probably 7, 6 or 7.
Okay, 7. You're talking about a guy who's at the end of his road in CP3.
But who's going to trade? Who's going to take that contract? So that's what I'm getting at. It's like you signed him to the deal. He took the deal. So instead of, because he could have, if he would have signed back in, they would have had to pay him $47 million for 1 year. He took less money. I think he took $120 for 4 years instead of trying to max out the deal so they could sign Ayton.
Mm-hmm.
But then they didn't want to give Ayton the money. So that was part of the deal. So it was like, hey, I'm going to take less money so we could sign this guy and keep, because you got to pay Cameron Payne too. Cameron Payne earned him a deal.
Cameron Payne is a player.
I like him.
Are you talking about Cameron Johnson?
No, I'm talking about the little point guard.
Oh, I'm talking about Johnson.
Well, Johnson, he should be coming up.
Yeah,
he's going to probably get $20 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know what all this tells me? That
Golden State, a lot of money.
Golden State's in good shape.
Oh, they are.
They're in good shape in the West.
But if they have to pay Poole, if Poole gets max contract like money, it's going to make some stuff different.
Well, it just tells me that somebody has to leave, and it's going to be.
Well, Wiggins. Everyone says Wiggins is out.
Yeah, but it's going to be more than Wiggins. They got to clean some people out of that.
Like
Lee. Where's Lee going?
He doesn't make that much money.
Still has to go.
No, but see, if they don't make any money, you need those low contracts.
But you do remember Miami put a team together where they got 3 max deals, took up most of their payroll, won 2 championships.
They had 3 of the top 10 players on one team.
Mm-hmm. What do you think Golden State has?
Not that.
Not from
Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole are not in the top 30.
Not far from that. In today's league, not far from that.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different though. I think you need those. You need those players.
Let's say you talk about a player like Luka, right? They have a lot of work to put a team around him.
Nobody's gonna want to play with Luka.
Why not? He's the modern day LeBron James, right?
He is a ball hog.
Isn't that the modern day LeBron James? I knew you was gonna say that. Isn't that the modern day LeBron James?
LeBron will pass the ball sometimes, and LeBron moves at a different speed. Luka is slow and then doesn't pass you the ball.
But then he shoots a high percentage.
Yeah, I know that
he shoots a very high percentage.
He shoots a good percentage. If I'm a player, I'm not going to want to play with him. He doesn't pass the ball enough.
Well, maybe if he wasn't rolling with Porzingis, he might pass the ball.
Porzingis should have been the perfect player to pair with him.
Really?
They should have been able to run pick and roll.
But he's hurt all the time.
No, when they roll, Luka shoot. he don't pass.
I don't know if I'm passing the ball to Porzingis.
Man, I like Porzingis, man. I hope my Pokashevsky guy come through. I'm so heavily invested in him. It's crazy.
Nick, what I'm saying is, in modern day basketball, name me a team who has 3 players. I'm gonna challenge you, Nick. Name me a team that has 3 dominant players. You can't name one.
Offensively dominant?
Yeah. You can't name one. The NBA is not built like that. Poole is an X factor. What's that?
Somebody might be a max defensive player.
No, I'm talking about 3 offensive players. I can give you 30.
No, that doesn't
in
work.
The playoffs. The league is not built like that.
It's not, but you have like, how do they get that 30? Like the Golden State thing works because Clay doesn't have to dribble the basketball to score 30.
Mm-hmm.
Steph can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole is actually a lot more aggressive than Steph is. He'll go to the paint, create a little more havoc. I don't think he passes the ball as well as he could. Man, he said, what?
Come on from the bench. Now. Come on, bro.
I like Scotty Barnes too. But,
come on, man.
Siakam is a role player, great role player.
Yeah, but that's come on.
He's not ball dominant.
No. The NBA is now built like that. David Stern didn't want that. That's why you have these expansion teams that have this took the talent and spread it out. There would never be a Boston Celtics team with 5 Hall of Famers on it like that. That's not the NBA today.
But you just said they're going to take less money. So if 5 good players...
No, I'm talking about J. Mike. I'm talking about 5 to 10 years from now. These things will come up. Not next year. Players will want to take control of their career, just like they see people do in other sports, to make sure they have a nucleus around them where they can see greatness. And it's their option. Why can't they take less money to do that?
You can, but you don't do that, though. These players spend their money too bad. These dudes are buying Bugattis and 5 baby mamas.
They do the same thing in the NFL.
And they need every penny they need.
And you know the NFL's money now is becoming greater and greater, guaranteed money.
Actually, I saw the thing they talked about today with the reason why Baker Mayfield is not being traded for is because they're showing them that they messed it up because now all these quarterbacks are going to want fully guaranteed contracts, especially if they have no assault accusations on their records.
That's right.
But once these guys start getting that full guaranteed money, the thing I didn't know was that you just can't give them that contract. You got to give them that full amount that you guaranteed. You got to put in escrow, cash.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, sir.
So you can only have probably one of those guys because like some of those guys got 7-8 billion. But you're talking about if everybody's getting cash money, that means the owner has to put damn near $1 billion in escrow.
That's true.
And they're not going to do that. So they're talking about Joe Burrow. The way Cincinnati Bengals do their contracts, they only guarantee 1 year on their contracts. Pittsburgh Steelers does that too. You might sign $100 million deal for 5 years, but only $25 million that is guaranteed, and it's basically a year-to-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how they work. But they're saying now, you think Burrow's going to take less than Deshaun Watson got, and he's going to want a fully guaranteed contract?
This whole Deshaun Watson thing changed the game, man.
It did. But is that change the game for good or bad?
I don't know. We'll see long term, but people will get paid, and there will be people who shouldn't get paid that will get guaranteed money.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be Kyler Murray is going to be the one.
I like how people are giving me 3 now. Well, Simmons doesn't even play,
but he has a max contract though.
That's true. That's cool. But I'm talking about 3 players that are on the team that are going to contribute to the ring.
I think people sleeping on Simmons though. I hope he breaks that mental curse because I'm in his market now.
Oh really?
Because my boy Zion, I finally started picking up those PSA 10s.
I think Zion's gonna be back, man. I think Zion will be a better player long term than Simmons.
Hey, when I tell you that when the Zion thing come back, that first month, that first 2 weeks he's back, when he's averaging 30 and 15 or whatever the number is.
Are you gonna start moving? Are you gonna move?
They're gonna be on fire.
Yeah, they are.
So
I would agree with that.
I'm waiting for it, but I'm watching. Like I said, I'm watching. Ben Simmons, I don't have as much confidence in, but Zion, I'm 100% confident with him coming back though.
Yeah, Tatum was arguing some calls tonight. I don't know if that was a level of frustration. I did notice that a little bit as I watched the game, and I don't know what that was, but it seemed unnatural for him to argue that much. I hadn't seen that before.
Brown play.
What's that?
How did Brown play?
WC. That's a good question. Brown had 24, 7 of 17, 4 for 8 from 3-point line, 10 boards, 3 assists, 3 fouls. He a pretty decent game.
I mean, but if you think about it, the defensive player of the year did not play for them.
That's my point. That's my point. That's a big mess. I mean, aggressive guy, hustling, going for balls anywhere. it's hard to replace a dude like Smart. And sometimes I don't even like his game. Sometimes he's aggravating to me the way he plays. But if he was in my huddle, I would love him.
You remember him in college?
Oh yeah.
He was the offensive player of the year. Like so, this defensive side I didn't see coming.
I needed.
He was averaging damn near 30 a game.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the guy. I didn't think he would turn into this. You know,
remember the incident when he was in college and Smart went to the stands? You remember that?
Wait, he went to what?
A fan said something that he didn't care for. He went into the stands to address the fan.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah. Smart was a player, man. I never thought this defensive guy would have emerged, but it's interesting to me how they're. I was just talking to somebody the other day, like Robert Horry, right? Went to Alabama, played ball with Latrell Sprewell. Robert Horry had his back to the basket the whole time. He goes to the league, he's shooting jumpers, facing up, shooting threes. It's interesting how some players take that game to another level, and then you have players who sometimes disappear.
Well, you know, they always talk about the, Jordan, like being suppressed by Dean Smith. Dean Smith's the only person to ever hold Jordan under 20. Sometimes when you play the system, you play your role like the Kentucky basketball players. Like they actually get drafted on their potential and they bought into it. So the players don't mind scoring 6 points a game, knowing that they're still going to be a first-round draft pick.
That's right.
So if you're used to playing a role, but Robert Horry back in that time, that's one of my favorite drafts. One of my favorite players of all time was in that draft, and I'm not talking about Shaq. He was a 4. You had Latrell playing the 3. Who's their point guard?
That I don't know.
Shit. I used to know all that stuff, but that class in particular, he goes to the Rockets. That Rockets team, you had Olajuwon, you had Otis Thorpe. So he wasn't going to be on the block. And he played the wing. Now, you had Kenny Smith, you had Mad Max.
Yeah, Brian Maxwell.
And you had
that was Florida State. Was he coming up?
I saw him the other day.
Oh man, I see his face. Can't think of his name.
Whatever, but
yeah,
what's that?
Assistant coach. Can't remember his name.
He's married to a news reporter here in Houston. I can't think of his name offhand, but you had a rotation. So for him to play, he had to play defense, play on the wing.
Cassell? Are you talking about?
No, it wasn't Sam. Sam Cassell was the backup point guard with him. Sam Cassell was the draft pick in.
Mario Ellie.
Mario Ellie, that's what it was. Mario Ellie.
Yep. So, Will came through in the clutch. Thank you, Will.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's a different time. But Robert Horry, is Robert Horry a Hall of Famer?
I think he is. Without question, I think he has 7 rings. What he did?
7 points a game.
I really don't care.
Draymond Green, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Then.
Yeah, Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer.
Oh no. I believe, but he did more for his team than Robert Horry did.
I don't know if I don't know.
The Golden State Warriors are not the Golden State Warriors without Draymond Green.
The Lakers are not beating Sacramento without Robert Horry.
But they still were the Lakers.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have won a chance. They wouldn't have been in the finals without Robert Horry. Shaq has said this many times. Let's not sleep on Robert Horry now.
I don't know about that.
Big Shot Bob. Oh yeah,
I get Big Shot Bob, but they could have had They could have had Tony Kukoc to shoot those shots.
I'd rather have Robert Horry than Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc is a better player.
I wouldn't agree with that. And Tony Kukoc is a Hall of Fame.
One of the greatest European players of all time.
Because Dino Roger got hurt.
I love Dino Roger.
I used to love Dino Roger, man. So love Dino Roger.
I like Dino.
Ooh, Dino smooth.
Well, His boy. What's his boy? His boy plays for, got traded for Halliburton.
Who are you talking about?
They trade. He's in what's called now. Sacramento.
Who was that?
Down huh?
Who are you talking about?
They traded Halliburton for the guy in Indiana.
You talking about the center father playing?
Yeah. His dad was the best European to ever come over here.
Yeah, he just came over too late in his career.
Yeah, he was already. But you got these. I thought it was Dirk, but now it looks like Luka. Luka's that guy.
Yeah, you watch film on his father. Man, he was amazing overseas.
Oh yeah,
he was amazing.
You know whose film has.
Hold up, just to be clear, Nick Jackson, Dirk is the greatest European player of all time because of when he started his career and how his career went. There are a lot of players that came before Dirk that came late 20s.
Yeah, Drazen Petrovic.
Yeah, man. Dirk. I mean, I respect Dirk. I'm not gonna disrespect Dirk, but he came at the right time. If he'd have came 6-7 years later, like most of these guys did, totally different ball game.
Yeah, because they come over here.
Sabonis, Michael, thank you.
Sabonis was nasty. Great passer. He was Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't shoot the jumper like Joker shoots it, but he passed the ball very well. Vladdy was actually really good too, but Vladdy, his team setups weren't really conducive for him to really shine like that. But Vladdy was a good player.
Yeah, Nick, he can't control that. But when people talk about greatness, y'all know me, right? I cannot disrespect those who came prior. And their history, their story is a part of the greatness.
Hey, man, if you put him in the middle of the era, he ain't going to be nothing, man.
All right, would Draymond Green be a Hall of Famer if he was on Orlando Magic? I mean, this is like saying, would Joe Montana be a Hall of Famer if he never played for the 49ers?
Hey, Joe Montana was a bad boy.
Yeah, but if he was throwing the ball in Tampa Bay, like Steve Young when he first started out, he was throwing the ball to receivers that were bagging groceries 2 years later. I mean, I don't know if Draymond would be a Hall of Famer if he would Orlando or not, but I do know.
No, he's the cog though.
That's right. Steph can't do. I'm just gonna tell people, Steph can't do what he does. Clay can't do what he does if Draymond's not on the court. It's not happening. It's not happening, man.
This is what I'll say. Steph wasn't Steph for the first 3 years of his career. He wasn't Steph. Clay, I think that skill set could work on any team, anytime.
I get that, but if you asking either Clay or Steph to bring the ball up the court the whole game, everything about what they do is different. Now, let me ask you this question, because this came up. I was talking to a friend today. If Golden State went out and got a point guard, put Steph at 2, they're deadly, man.
That's what happens when Jordan Poole comes in.
That's right. That's when that whole thing opens up, because now Steph can roam and he can create his own shot, and Clay can roam and they can pop, shoot, and let your lights out.
That's why Wiggins has to go.
That's right. Because he slows the game down. His shot is not confident. There's a lot of stuff about his game that they can work with, but it can be better.
Like, I think for what he does, I think they could plug Kuminga in that position.
Yeah, Kuminga just has to learn, just like any young player, ball control and where to place the ball and where you should be in foul trouble. So that's every young player that comes through the NBA that has a potential to be good to great. They have to learn that.
Hey, but also I thought about this. If they make it to the finals, they could activate Wiseman.
They could. I don't think they will, but they could.
I think it depends on who wins out the East.
He was looking legit in the G League before the end of the season.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I like that dude, man. I think he's that deal,
Good
man.
player, bro. I'm telling you, we're gonna look back years from now and be like, that dude right there is destroying people.
Yeah, actually, so I just purchased a bunch of Patrick Williams.
Oh, he's gonna be a nice player too.
Optic hollows. I got like 20 of his optic hollow prisms for like $23, right? He's one of the people I prospect. I thought by looking at his cards, 'cause I never really saw him play. I was just looking at his cards. I thought he was a 4.
No.
He's a 3.
Yeah.
A wing with handle, could play the point. So I was looking. I watched.
And how tall was he? How tall was he?
Like 6'5", 6'6", maybe.
I thought he was a little taller than that.
Hey, I was impressed. Instant fan.
Oh, he's a baller, man. He's a player to watch in the future.
I had no idea, man. I was looking at his cards, though. You know how, like, sometimes you can look at someone's card?
Mm-hmm.
I got that he was a big.
Patrick Williams is 6'7" with a wingspan of 7 feet.
Yeah. So, 6'6", yeah. But that team, so I think the Bulls are going to lose Levine.
Probably so.
Because they have some of the most guard talent in the league.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, the L kid, you got Zoe, you got DeRozan, you got Levine, you got Kobe White.
Yep.
Like they got a lot.
Kobe White can play ball, man.
I think they could wind up packaging a bunch of those little guards and get them a 5.
I hope so, because in my lifetime, we got to see the Bulls deep in the playoffs, man. Like legitimately deep in the playoffs, causing problems.
What you mean in your lifetime? Y'all got 6.
Nah, man, we need more than that, man. This is a new era. That was a whole generation ago. Last championship, 98.
Hey, man, if Jordan didn't want to go play baseball and serve his suspension, you got that?
Because you know the Bulls. I call what you through. You know the Bulls would have destroyed Houston, right?
Huh?
They would have destroyed Houston.
Oh yeah. But at the same time,
dismantled them.
Yeah. I think they would beat that team. But the fact that I think people think different. Like back in the day, people used to think you do something for a certain amount of time and then you stop. But Jordan was still scoring 40 points at 40.
People fail to realize too, 96, 97, 98, when they won a championship, right? Jordan was sitting on the bench in the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, a lot of those games, yeah.
He didn't even play.
But
think about it, people was playing 40 minutes a night.
But he became IQ Jordan at that time.
Yes, but I'm just saying. He was still averaging 32 points a game.
But you know who allowed him to do that?
Who, Scott Pippen?
Ron Harper.
Yeah.
Ron Harper started taking the best offensive player.
Speak on it.
You know, he was a very key instrumental piece to that because Jordan didn't have to guard the best player. He could roam.
I just said on a live the other night that people talk about knowledge of the game. Ron Harper with the Cleveland Cavaliers averaged 20-some points a game. It was a dominating player, suffered some injuries. That's how he played that role with the Lakers and with the Bulls. He did spare Jordan a lot of minutes guarding certain people doing certain things.
Hey, that Cleveland team was a bad team, man.
It was a bad team.
They don't know nothing about that Brad Doherty.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know
These
about
are people, Mark Price. These are people
Mark
that people don't even talk about anymore.
Mark Price going to score shoot 50% from the field, 90 from the line, could pass. Like those are great teams. Craig Elo actually was a decent player.
Gerald Wilkins, Dominic's brother.
Gerald Wilkins, but you also had who's the
you had who won the slam dunk contest on that team? Whose son played with LeBron in Cleveland.
Larry Nance.
Larry Nance was on that team.
That was earlier.
Larry Nance was on those playoff teams with Cleveland.
Yeah, but he was like
that was the first wave of playoff teams.
He's in the 86 Flair draft.
Yeah, but he played with those. He was, I think, coming off the bench or starting some games. He played along with
Doherty,
Mark Price, Doherty, all of them. He was later in his career though, but he was on that team. I tell people all the time, the Cavs team without injuries would have been the Bulls rivals in the 90s, but Michael Jordan stripped a lot of people of championships.
Jordan crushed every. That's the thing the thing with Jordan, and the reason why nobody ever catch Jordan. Jordan sour-faced a generation of players. This generation of guys said, "Fuck it, we'll come together and play together." He didn't do that. Like Jordan, he just said the other day, he said, "I could have never imagined me getting on the phone and calling Magic and Bird. It was like, yo, let's get together." He's like, "I'm trying to beat those guys." You know what I'm saying? This era is soft for that. I don't like I lost a lot of respect for LeBron when he left Cleveland, but at the time I loved LeBron because he plays the game the right way, he does everything the right way.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw weakness when he did that, and I'm like, you had an opportunity, and I'm talking about when they had was it the first time he left when they had Wiggins? Wiggins would have been the first pick.
Yeah, they picked up Wiggins, and that's when he wanted love. So
is that when he came back?
Yeah, that's when he came back. Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that. I thought if he would have come back and said, you know what, I'm gonna get this young boy and we're gonna win this chip, I would have respected it more. I didn't like how he did.
Well, you know, when Wiggins plays LeBron, he plays extra hard.
Oh yeah, he should because he got him traded.
Oh boy. So let's talk about LeBron, right? LeBron went on social media the other day and talked about, let me make sure I find this so I quote it right. He was asked, who, if you could make an all-time dunk contest, which 4 players are you choosing? All right. LeBron picked Vince Carter, Levine, Dominique, and himself.
Mm-hmm.
J. Mike, come on.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think in my prime, LeBron could have beat me in a dunk contest. I know that sounds crazy. Just Google me, but he wasn't. He's a great player who dunks the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He could do the between the leg dunk. That sounds cool.
Yep.
These kids now are doing 360 windmills between the legs, jumping over people.
I just wonder why LeBron has never been in the slam dunk contest.
Because it was too much for him to lose.
Mm-hmm.
The clock, exactly. So first he said years ago when he first came, he said it's gonna cost $1 million for me to do it. And Sprite said we'll give you the $1 million. He still didn't do it. Mm-hmm. If him losing would have lost the rep or the error, like he couldn't have made this he couldn't have made a comment like that if he actually done the contest and lost.
Yeah, but my point is, how are you gonna pick? I mean, we all have lists, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have lists. We all have lists. But how do you make a list and don't even put the best dunker of all time in the slam dunk contest on a list?
Him and Jordan got this weird little thing going.
Yeah, they have this passive aggressive thing going on.
Yeah, but that
because after the 75, LeBron said in the post game press conference, well, it's cool to be around someone that I aspire to be like when I was a young person, a child coming up playing the game of basketball. But I've also not spent much time around him in my 20+ year career playing basketball.
Because Jordan chose Kobe.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like LeBron, like Kobe would try to beat Jordan. LeBron just want to be in his presence. You know what I'm saying? Like no one respects weak. And as strong as LeBron is, he's weak. You know what I'm saying? People don't like hearing it, but it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, people don't like hearing it.
No, hey, I like the J Mike. Hey, but look, I'm saying that, and I know it sounds crazy. But in 1996, I won the state dunk championship. The same year Kobe came out of school. The person who won the McDonald's All-American dunk contest that year was Lester Earl from Baton Rouge. He could not have beaten me that year. I'm just saying there are years from 97, Dwayne Mason and all those guys. I could have beat all those guys in dunk contests. Like my story is documented. So it's like you see the stuff dunking from the free throw line, all that stuff. I was doing that at 240 pounds, 6 foot, 30 something. Yeah, whatever. But that lineup, like let's see, Vince, Dominique, Jordan. I would add for that particular thing, you have what's the boy, Josh Richardson. I like Richardson.
Oh, Richardson was nice, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, he was nice. He was nice.
But the kids now are doing dunks now that have never, guys are going through the legs, behind the back now. Like between the legs, around the back, and then dunking.
Yeah, I saw a guy the other day go between his legs, behind his back, brought the ball back here, and whoop.
Yeah, like, but the guy who did that, the original guy who did it is a white guy. He's actually my little homeboy, J.R. Roth. He did it first, but the black guy does it better. Like the guy does it with more style. So I told him, I was like, look, man, you're not getting your props, but the reason why you're not getting your props is a style thing, you know? Mm-hmm. But those dunkers, but the thing about being a dunker, anybody could dunk a basketball. Not anybody, but anybody could dunk a basketball. But the NBA guys are good basketball players and dunk a basketball. If they're talking about adding the street ball players, the street ball guys can't play a lick.
Nick Jackson asks, is the greatest dunker not Vince Carter? I don't think so, but I'm biased, Nick. You know I'm biased.
And the best in-game dunker of all time is Dominique.
Oh, without question.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
There's no question. Albert Jones says you two should do a weekly show. Mike. Oh, I'll tell you this though, man. When we started talking history of the sport, we just kind of played volleyball across the net to each other. No one mentioned Dr. J. Dr. J was cool.
You know, from that era, David Thompson is the person that I would want to see in a dunk contest. It wouldn't be Dr. J.
Yeah, David Thompson was nice.
He's the original Skywalker.
But let's just say Dr. J was a good dunker, right? But Dr. J, I wouldn't say you have flash. You don't have that flair. You know, that's not. That came along later.
It didn't translate.
Yeah.
Like Dominique's dunks and the way he dunked transition 30 years. Like it's still the same. Like when you watch him jump and dunk, it still gives you that same vibe, man. This guy right here, though, the OG Skywalker, David Thompson. This is like one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite cards.
Remember I saw that card at the show and I told you about it.
Oh, it was graded.
It was graded. The one I saw. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a good looking card, man. I might have to go and get this one.
You have a lot of good looking raw cards, man. A lot.
I never got
Look
into
at the corners on that thing. Look at the corners on that thing.
Oh, this looks pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know who Michael Jordan had induct him to the Hall of Fame, right? Come out and introduce him.
Wait, who was it?
David Thompson.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah.
OG.
Baller, man.
I like Mikey's nasty. I like Mikey.
So Kay says, who do you think will end up better, Mikey Williams or Bronny? So I don't think Bronny James is a great basketball player. Am I wrong there?
Yeah, it's not that he's not an alpha.
No.
Mikey is an alpha, but Mikey also reminds me of OJ Mayo. Now, if any of you guys out there know who OJ Mayo is,
back in the day, right? I'm in LA. I go to USC and watch OJ Mayo play in person, and I walked away thinking this guy's not gonna make it in the NBA.
So you talk about he was in college already, right?
Yeah, I was talking about USC.
I'm talking about when he was 14 and they were trying to get him to be independent so he can enter the draft at 15 years old.
Was he aggressive?
I'm talking that OJ Mayo.
Was he aggressive?
Unbelievable.
He was because he wasn't aggressive at USC.
He reminds me because he wasn't trying to get hurt, and that's the benefit of doubt they gave him. Then he just got caught up in the drug thing. You know, he got a second contract, so he wasn't a bad player in Memphis. He wound up getting put out the league for cocaine. Like he failed 2 million drug tests. So that's how he got kicked out. But OJ Mayo was an undersized guy. Like he was 6'3", 6'4", Harold Minerish, actually.
Yeah, he was very undersized.
That's funny. They both went to USC. But that's kind of the thing that happened. But he was actually OJ Mayo was very much Kyrie without the supreme ball handling.
I could see
he could handle, but it wasn't Kyrie level handle.
I could see
he wasn't like a hyper athlete. Just like Kyrie's not a hyper athlete.
Yeah, he's saying OJ would have been a beast if he stayed off the drugs.
Yeah, that's hard, man. The drugs be calling them, man. They be calling them.
So what's up with Pat Bev just dogging out CP3?
I think he's trying to set up his Draymond Green rollout for after his career.
That's exactly what I told 2 people today. After basketball, Charles Barkley has opened the door for Pat Beverly and Draymond Green to walk right in.
Well, Draymond Green knocked the door down. But
what do you mean with his work with TNT?
I think Draymond Green has put him. He placed himself in that position.
Well,
they typically try to get
His podcast.
They try to get that guy. They try to get. Now, I was actually telling this to one of my friends the other day. I was like, somebody needs to tell Stephen A. He don't know it yet, but JJ Redick runs ESPN. He is going to. He is.
But why is that though? But why is that? Why does JJ Redick run? Because does he tell the truth? Is he?
No. Have you watched? Do you watch his podcast?
Yeah.
Every player that comes on there says the same thing about him. You know what they say about him?
What's that?
He's invited to the barbecue.
Okay.
And he is the least person you would think would be that guy.
I dig it.
So they said that he and you know who else is like that? Christian Laettner, which is my other guy, Duke guy. But they said JJ Redick, his whole demeanor has been always advocating for his fellow teammates. I'm not going to say just black players, his fellow teammates.
Okay.
He was the best Duke player to ever come out of Duke outside of what Jason Tatum is doing. So if Jason Tatum wasn't Jason Tatum, I would say he had the best NBA career of all those guys.
Better than Grant Hill?
Yeah. Grant, think about it. I love Grant Hill. I think Grant Hill, if he wouldn't have got hurt.
Really?
Listen, hear me out.
All right.
If Grant Hill doesn't get hurt, Grant Hill is one of the top 20 players of all time. Grant Hill did not play a lot. He didn't have a full career. He might want him to go into the Hall of Fame. And JJ Redick's not going to the Hall of Fame. But JJ Redick played 15 solid years in the NBA. Like even Elton Brand. Elton Brand had a terrific career, but he didn't have a solid 15-year career. I'm talking about career. I ain't say better player. So
yeah, I hear what you're saying because I'm looking at Hill's stats. After he got hurt and did not play in 2003, 2004, he came back, averaged almost 20 points a game, and then his points went straight down.
So what is his career average like?
16.7.
I think JJ is like 14 or 15 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Laettner's is like damn near double.
But let me ask you this. I know you love Christian Laettner. Should Shaq been on that dream team or Christian Laettner?
No.
Come on now.
No. Christian Laettner was the best player in the country on the best team in the country.
Oh, we talking about marketing right now?
No, I'm talking about what's right. Like, so
you know the people wanted to see Shaq.
The people may have wanted to see Shaq, but
I was with the people on that.
He didn't win the championship. Didn't Duke win the championship that year?
Yeah, probably.
They beat the thugs of UNLV, who actually wound up. Larry Johnson was my second favorite player.
I love Larry Johnson before you heard his back.
I still love Larry Johnson. Like Larry Johnson's my guy. But when I tell you being confused as a little child, I cried when Duke beat UNLV. But when I cried, I was like, that's my guy. I love Shane Battier. I like those kind of guys. But you know who those kind of guys are? They're the kind of guys that don't get allocation from Panini. They're the kind of guys that are complaining about the Backyard Break guys, the Shane Battier black guys. They're like, oh my God, this is not my scholarly entertainment. I think we should have more sophisticated conversations around these blue and red prisms.
Let me ask you a question, right? So Will says Nick, but he's good at it. And then he starts talking about Stephen A. just screams and screams. Does anybody like Stephen A. and what he delivers and what he's talking about? And
they have to.
That's what I'm saying. People say they don't, but they have to, right?
Nah, but the one thing about Stephen A., he's smart. Yep. If someone starts getting traction, he gets rid of them.
That's right. They gotta go.
But he said that. But I think JJ Redick is a Duke guy. He's woke. He's also very well spoken. And he's one of the guys that the players respect. So the thing with Stephen A. is that the players talk down to him because they know he wasn't a player.
Yeah, he was.
But the thing with JJ Redick, he's the white guy who gets it. The black players like him. He went to Duke. He's a very conservative. He's still conservative, so he checks all the boxes. And then if you saw how he handled Pat Beverly today, he handled Beverly. You know, Beverly was on his show like last week, and they're buddies. Mm-hmm. But the way he dismantled him or took his power from him but he did it respectfully. That to me shows that he has the ability to do this long term. So I want to see him do his own thing. I can see him hosting like the Scott Van Pelt type role.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
But Stephen A doesn't know it yet. But JJ Redick's the future of ESPN. It's not Kendrick Perkins. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I can't get into Kendrick Perkins. Man.
Yeah, I'm not into that country like low level Shannon Sharp deal. I'm not into that. I'm not.
That's a way of saying I've never thought of that.
I'm not like because he tried to talk about what his grandma say and all that stuff. I think the thing with Shannon, it's different when it comes out of Hall of Famer's mouth. It's Bible.
Well, but you remember Perkins playing, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's in the same draft with LeBron.
Yeah, it's not.
He's a goombot.
Yeah, it's not happening, man. It's not happening. ESPN losing Bayless and Cowherd at the same time. That's why Stephen A got his platform. But what's interesting is that Stephen A, they've tried several shows with him on his own. They didn't work. So maybe
that's not like Stephen A has that. What's called still the first #1 show on cable.
What's that?
First Take.
No. Back in the day, he had a show on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I don't think that works for him. I think it's more of the yelling and the back and forth across the table that works for him. It's not just coming out and interviewing J. Mike. It's like it's not the same.
Hold on. Do you remember when they had Stuart Scott is cooler than the other side of the pillow? You'd have thought he was cursing, singing NWA lyrics.
But ESPN wanted to fire him for quoting rap lyrics and all. They wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, but he is Stephen A is the left ball of how I forget his damn name. Stuart Scott. So
that's an interesting way of putting it, right?
Huh?
I said that's an interesting way of putting it.
Yeah. So, but the thing with Cowherd was good, but he wasn't on the level of Stephen A at no point. Ever.
Not to me, no. But I don't look for Cowherd. I look for Cowherd to give me the news with a little bit of commentary.
Yeah, I don't look for him at all anymore.
Yeah, I don't look for Cowherd to. I think I'll probably listen to more of Joy Taylor than Cowherd off that show.
I've grown to like her a little bit, but I don't like. I'm not a big fan of her, but I like her. I'm not a big fan of her though. I like her though. You get it. But
yeah, I get it.
But there's one personality I can't stand. I cannot. Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, Keyshawn.
But I love Keyshawn.
Have you ever met Keyshawn in person?
I've seen him out before.
Oh, I've met Keyshawn in person a few times, man. He's just his personality is what you see on TV.
But see, I liked him as a player. I loved him as a player.
I didn't like him as a player.
You know why I liked him?
Why?
He was the #1 player drafted in 1995, right? First wide receiver.
I thought he was overrated at that time. Go ahead.
But the reason why is the way he carried himself. He was a dark-skinned black man who carried himself in a certain light. And before that time, dark-skinned black men weren't considered GQ and fly and debonair back in 95. That didn't happen until 96, 97. Best Man came out, all that stuff. But Keyshawn Johnson was dating. He dated Serena Williams. He dated a bunch of women, but he had.
Forget this. You come with knowledge right now. People forget that.
You had the Chris Webbers. So that those guys from that generation, Chris Webber, Keyshawn Johnson, those guys were very instrumental for me for building my confidence as a young dark-skinned male.
I get that.
Growing into manhood. So seeing those guys and watching women react to them was big for me. So I love Keyshawn, but on television, he's terrible. I don't like him on television.
Yeah, I don't like him at all either.
That's a weird.
What do you think of Pat McAfee?
I love him.
I do too. I do too.
Because he gets it.
Yep. Well, he's a player. He was a player.
He gets it. He gets everything though. Not just I was a player. He understands all aspects, and he's not tied to anything. He's free. Like I like the fact that he owns his own everything. so he can say whatever he wants. I like how he speaks from a Colts fan perspective, like with no objectivity at all. He is like, I'm a Colts fan. We need this guy. Like, we should get this guy. Like, he speaks like that. So to me, he comes across as a fan, as a real person. So I like what he does.
So he's relatable, right? Very relatable.
Like
Very down to earth is what I see. Like you talked about, speaks his mind. I just love the fact, just simple stuff, right? This guy just stands up and starts talking.
Yeah, with a tank top on.
Yeah, with a tank top on and like, what, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick said Wesley Snipes brought that dark skinned black thing in.
I'm talking about for me. I always thought Wesley Snipes wasn't a good representation of the dark skinned black man.
I've heard people say that before. I've heard people say that.
So I'm talking.
Nick also said that Joy Taylor is easy on the eyes.
Yeah, she is. She don't have no booty though, but she good. She pretty.
I first remember seeing Stephen A. on the Best Damn Sports Show. Now that's some knowledge right there. I do remember that. He had a different persona back then.
You know, he used to wear baseball caps and jerseys.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one didn't work.
Now tonight he came out with the cream suit.
With the what?
The cream suit. You know, he was sitting there with the cream.
His suit selection is pretty bad. Him and Michael Irvin have the worst suit selections on the planet.
Michael Irvin looks like he trims that fro every hour of every day.
Hey man, at least
it's almost like old Steve Harvey, right? It's almost like he sits that fro on his head. Like his
he probably does. I'm just glad he's not dead, man. Like all the cocaine he did, man, he's still alive. Shit.
Got a funny story for you. I think maybe I've told you this before. So I go to Vegas. I get Pete Rose's autograph. I asked Pete to sign some stuff. He signed some stuff up top of his head. And I said, "How do you remember that?" He said, "If any player's ever done anything, they remember their stats." I said, "That's funny because I just saw Michael Irvin last year and I asked him to inscribe his number of yards and touchdowns, and he couldn't even remember it." And Pete was laughing. He was like, "Well, you know what it is,
right?" I'm about to say something. It made me realize that his numbers aren't that impressive.
For the time, though. I mean, you got to think. Okay, his quarterback's numbers are not impressive.
His quarterback numbers are terrible.
Yeah, Troy Aikman is not impressive.
What I'm getting at is, people like numbers are good until they're not good. He doesn't have 100 touchdowns.
Yeah, but that wasn't their offense, man. You got to think. You got a running back here running the ball 300 some times a year. That wasn't their offense. Look at Alvin Harper's numbers, and he was still a threat on the other side.
John Taylor, his numbers what they were supposed to be. They're very similar to what John Taylor was to Jerry Rice. He was a deep threat. Jerry Rice was over the middle. It was the same carbon copy.
Yeah, but but in that San Francisco offense, they threw the ball and they threw it to a running back. Emmitt Smith just ran the ball.
They caught the ball not as much as John Taylor. Yeah. But you know the thing about the running back, Tom Rathman used to catch the ball a lot too.
A lot.
And he had Brent Jones.
And he was a fullback.
Yeah.
A lot. I miss the old school Sport Nation. Love watching that after school. Yeah, Sport Nation was cool.
I stopped. I don't even watch ESPN anymore. I watch the highlights now.
I really don't watch ESPN a lot either. We're talking about Marcellus Wiley. Do you all remember when Marcellus Wiley beat Keyshawn Johnson in a 40-yard dash?
You know, I vaguely remember that, but I used to be a fan of his, and I'm not a fan of his anymore. He tried to take over. What's the fat dude?
Yeah.
Jason Whitlock.
Whitlock, Kansas City.
He's trying to do that. I'm not a fan of that.
But are you saying creating controversy when it really is now? Is that what you're getting at?
It's like just being contrary, just to be contrary to your own people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sound like, because I'm not the most, right on power to people person, but it feels like he does a lot to stir a certain group a certain way.
I don't really watch that. Yeah, I don't really watch that show.
And Ocho, so I have a funny story. So his partner's Ocho, right?
Mm-hmm.
I trained a guy who was a manager. He worked for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I remember him telling me that Ocho had been trying to position himself for television for years.
Really?
So I trained this guy from 2017 until 2019.
Mm-hmm.
When he came to Houston, he got let go from the Eagles right after they won the championship. So what year they won the championship? Was that 17?
I think about 17.
So whenever they won the championship, they got rid of the guy who helped build that team, and I trained him.
Okay.
And he was just telling me about like Ocho, like used to be like, hey, do y'all have any public appearances that I can go do, or y'all have any hospitals I can go visit? Or he literally was positioning himself for television after football. And they're like, hey man, typically the star players go and do the TV stuff and do this and do that. They said he was literally aiming and gunning for that. And you know, the fact that he was able to sit with Oprah after just not really knowing him, but just knowing like the background of him, I kind of had a different respect for him as well. But I just kind of don't like the smartest guy in the room thing. Like I'm not attracted to that energy at all. Like if that's your energy and your vibe, like that's the whole thing with the sports car people. You know, everybody wants to be smart, you know, and all that kind of shit. But which is fine. But that's not the energy I typically like.
There's some comments here. Talking about Wiley winning 75 on the D line. J. Mike, besides the Utah Jazz, which slews were hard to find?
Oh, starting lineups?
Oh, okay.
I don't have the super rare ones. I have like this is like a Greg Maddux rookie. This is like, it's not super rare, but it's rare enough. The Barry Bonds 88. Like, and these aren't crazy. I got the Lawrence Taylor back here. Like the Lawrence Taylor one is actually probably one of the worth most out of all the regular starting lines. Then I have my Jordans. I have every Jordan starting lineup. But I didn't go for that. Like the thing with starting lineups, the ones that were worth money were the short printed ones. It's a lot of Atlanta Falcons offensive linemen, the two Utah Jazzes, all the Utah Jazzes worth decent money, but I went with the stars. So I got like Larry Birds, I got a bunch of Tim Duncans, I got Peyton Manning rookies, Derek Thomas rookies. I went in that direction. Like the Derek Thomas. I got a bunch of the Griffies. So I went with stars, and I think that's the thing that they're going to do with the new edition. They're going to the stars are going to be the people who are going to be worth something. I think they're going to also not print as many.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and you know, the ones that, like I have, you know, the Bird rookie, and I have so many of them that technically I could break them in because this card looks damn good, but I like having them all.
Well, I remember we talked about that before. Just the grading of those cards was very difficult.
Hey man, but mark my words, when September hit and these drop with the new players in them, with the Prism rookies and all that stuff that they do, I think they're gonna take off if the market comes back at all. Now I would hate that I went back into the market just for it to crash again.
Here's a question. I think this came up the other day too. Rondo or CP3? Who are you rolling with?
Now I have an insane Rondo rookie card collection. I mean, insane. I have an insane like numbered, graded, all that stuff.
But let me ask you this: why don't you have an insane CP3 rookie card collection?
I do, and I'm about to tell you. I have a bunch of CP3 rookies, but I had a bunch of the ones that were numbered and graded PSA 10s.
Okay.
When the market, so I sold them.
Okay.
I made probably $8,000 off CP3 cards. So, but the Rondos aren't worth as much.
No.
You know, so but I like Rondo. I thought Rondo was going to be a Hall of Famer, and you know that probably is not going to happen now.
You don't think Rondo's going to be a Hall of Famer?
No.
Why
Especially not having, you know, these charges that he's got going on now with his baby mama and all that.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
That just happened. It just happened like 2 days ago. Pulled a gun. He threatened.
Oh, I just pulled it up. TMZ. Rajon Rondo allegedly pulls gun on family doing scary outbursts.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't help. And I got a bunch of his rookie stuff.
Wow, this is interesting because during the bubble, Rondo had his family with him.
It was the story is weird. Like he was playing a video game with his son, and the baby mama was telling his son to do something, and he was like, "Well, let him play the game." And next thing you know, he just pulled the game out the wall, broke it, and then left. And then she wouldn't let him in the house, and I think he had a gun on him.
So hold on, is this his wife? This is his wife?
They said baby mama, but you know how that goes. He's probably been with her 15 years.
Wow, interesting. Because when they were in the bubble, man, he had his family with him, you know, all the time.
I mean, shit, he probably had 5-6 girlfriends on top of the wife since then too. So her tolerance level probably is diminished.
I got you. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that just happened. But I'm a huge Rondo guy. But
yeah, I like Rondo a lot.
Investment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just saying, like my biggest car purchase until I bought that Poku was my Darren Williams refractor autograph rookie PSA Beckett 9 or something. That was the most expensive card I bought. But I got all these other cards because I never used to spend money on the cards. I was getting them so cheap back in 2000. Actually, I just pulled up a sheet of all my purchases in 2011, 2012, and I got like PSA 9 Kobe rookies for like $9. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of shows you how that stuff worked, you know.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm still like, wow, this Rondo thing is wow.
Oh yeah. But these dudes got to know that these women are going to try to trip them off the street.
It's interesting, man. Why do players lose their minds like Antonio Brown? Interesting. What's up, Sin City? How you doing, sir? Thank you for being here. Appreciate that.
There go one right here.
Yeah, Kentucky.
I probably got 40 Rondo rookie, like really nice rookies.
From the bench says Steve Nash is better than Rondo.
I got a lot of Steve Nash stuff too.
I think Steve Nash is better than a lot of people who consider themselves as a point guard.
You think he's better? You think he's better than Chris Paul?
Steve Nash?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I do.
No. And he stole one of Shaq's MVPs and stole one of Kobe's MVPs.
Well, Magic Johnson stole MVPs from Jordan.
Actually,
Michael Jordan was playing. Magic Johnson should have never won an MVP.
Jordan should have won MVP every single
year. At
least for 10 years. He should have no less than 10.
Yes. Like he should have as many MVPs as Bill Russell has championships.
Yeah. Yeah, here go right here. This is the most money I've ever spent on a card.
Oh, that's nice, man.
But at the time when I bought it, I was like, "Whoo!" You know, him and CP3 were the best point guards in basketball.
They were.
2012.
They were.
And
you know me, love the game, man. I still like that card.
This card probably worth less than $20 now.
Well, Nick Jackson agrees with you. He says FD no Nash over CP3 no way. I feel like people bucketash Nash. You know, it's a love-or-hate thing with Nash.
I think Steve Nash is a nice, easy person to like. I just think he got gifted. You know, he got gifted some MVPs. That's all.
Why do you think CP3 didn't get gifted any?
I was about to say something. I don't want to start no trouble.
Oh, okay. Should LeBron have a lot more MVPs? No.
Yes.
No. And I wonder
think-
how the NBA would be if he beat the Mavericks, but they wasn't going to beat the Mavericks. And what would happen to him if CP3 got traded to the Lakers? CP3 was going to play with Kobe.
Yeah.
So that
But
doesn't affect LeBron.
I don't know how that worked though.
What do you mean how it works?
Because if that happens, I don't think Paul Gasol becomes Paul Gasol.
I don't either. Nope.
And they needed Paul Gasol to win the championship, so I don't know how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know who I have a lot of Andrew Bynum. I thought Andrew Bynum was going to be. He was probably the first basketball player.
You really like Andrew Bynum?
Oh, he was so young. He was 17 when he got to the league. You know, I thought he was just going to get better, and he didn't care.
No, he really did. I'm in a subway one day, El Segundo, California, and I'm in there and I'm looking at the board to order, and I turn. Andrew Bynum is standing right in front of me, and I've never seen a person that tall and that frail looking. Very, very thin guy.
7'1".
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he was
legitimately like this guy. I felt like I was 5'5".
He was considered like overweight.
I mean, at one point, but
yeah, but he was like a bigger guy. But I was saying earlier, watching highlights of people, like watching Shaq highlights, gave me a whole new perspective on him. Like, because when the whole thing about what's the boy in Utah?
You talking about Gobert?
Gobert talk about he could stop Shaq.
Oh, he just talking, man. That's not even. Nobody's
that
even
was so. They just started showing Shaq's highlights, what he did to David Robinson.
Yeah, man. What? Yeah.
No.
The only person that embarrassed Shaq was Hakeem Olajuwon.
Was Olajuwon. That's it.
The only person. Because Shaq could never get that rhythm. The footwork was destroying him. He just couldn't. Shaq is all about power, so he just couldn't get it.
Yeah, Olajuwon was a whole nother monster.
Oh man, the footwork to have footwork of a 6'2" guy. I mean, a very talented 6'2" guy at that.
Yeah.
So Sin City says Boston got a wake up call tonight. What do you guys think? Boston just was without two people. They definitely got a wake up call because if these two people are not back, if Smart is really hurt, and if Horford has to be out more games, yeah, they got an issue. They could be down 3-0 before they know it.
Man, the Heat wound up getting extremely lucky and getting Victor Oladipo for nothing.
Yep.
Victor Oladipo is an all-star guard who makes, I think he signed a $3 million contract.
Yeah.
So what did he do tonight? I didn't see the game, but I know he's
Let me see.
a very good player.
Yeah, he's a very good player. Really like his game. See what Oladipo did. He had 5 points, 15 minutes, 2 for 9.
What did Duncan Robinson do? Did he play?
I don't think he played. No, Robinson did not play. He's a defensive liability.
But they're paying him $20 million a year.
Yeah, somebody just cut the check, but the dude is not a. You don't want that around.
Is he hurt, or they're just not playing him?
I thought they just weren't playing him.
I think
it says coach's decision did not play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he just can't play defense now. He's a spot up shooter. You know, he just doesn't. I was surprised when I heard. Yeah, did you see the Tariq Cohen video of that?
Oh, the running back.
Yeah, you know he's coming off of ACL. He pops his Achilles, man, working out.
Man, that's crazy. That's part of the reason why I stopped doing so much jumping and stuff.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you. But he was doing drills, man.
Yeah,
he was doing drills where he was going forward, backing up, going back forward, took 2 steps, immediately went to the ground. I watched the video. Immediately.
That's the one injury I don't watch because everybody always say, you know, I'm so big. They're like, you're going to tear something. I'm like, I don't need that jinx on me. So when I see people get hurt with that one.
I wish that on no one. I've heard the pain is severe. The recovery is crazy. Yeah. I just wish that on no one.
Actually, I trained this doctor. He wasn't a doctor at the time. He was he was about to be a doctor. And I had him running with the resistance band on him. and I had cones set up at each section. Each section they'd do 5 seconds. You run, then you run up to the next one. So he started like at about 15 seconds. He went to his third station, and his form broke down. And once your form breaks down, I stop you. I'm like, stop. He's like, no, I got it. I was like, nah. I said, let it go. He's like, nah, I got it. He went up to the next cone, and I'm watching his form. I'm like, bro, like, stop. He's like, I got it. 5 more seconds. All you heard is, you heard this loud sound, and he hits the ground, and he's like, oh shit, I tore my Achilles. He instantly said it. Like, he was like, it's gone.
Yeah, I've heard that. You know what's up.
Yeah,
So.
I remember I picked him up and carried him to his car, and he drove himself to the hospital. And I like every once in a while he'll see my videos, and he's like, yeah, man, remember you hurt me? I said, I did not hurt you. I told you, sorry, I'm just messing with you. He said, I was just trying to do it because I made it look so easy that he thought he should be able to do it. So what I started doing with athletic drills after that, I stopped demonstrating, because I trained NFL, NBA guys, and I would put together drills like, hey, I want you to go between the legs, drop, step, dunk. And I would do it. I wouldn't just tell them to do it. I would do it. And they used to be like, I can't believe you're still able to do this. So sometimes with high school kids or younger kids, I wouldn't do the drill because it would discourage them. So
all right, so from the bench is like hardcore on Boston right now. Hold on here. Make sure I can bring this in. Losing your third and sixth best player shouldn't be an excuse to lose. But you know how Boston's built, right? So Nick Johnson,
25% of your rotation.
Yeah, Nick Johnson comes back, says that. I mean, that's significant for them. So if those players are not back, then they're going to have a. Pepino agrees with me. Shaq should have been in the Olympics over Christian.
Leitner was the player of the year, national champion.
Yeah, it was all hype. The people wanted to see
Christian
Shaq.
Leitner is a top 5 all-time collegiate basketball player.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Top 5.
And you're not going to talk about you won't be talking about the NBA though.
Huh?
You're not going to talk about him in the NBA.
His numbers in the NBA aren't that bad.
Okay.
Look up his career stats.
Right.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 14 or 14 and 9.
We want to go here. Let's see what Christian Leitner is.
He had a solid NBA career.
Let's see here. He averaged 12.8 a game.
How many rebounds? 8?
6.7.
See, he hung around like 3 extra years. But no. What I'm saying is,
Mike, I love you, man.
He averaged.
No, he did. His last 4 years, he averaged 7, 8, 5, 5.
Yeah, so he had a solid career. And if you look at that, that's actually one of the better NBA drafts of all time.
He started out 18 points, 16 points, 16, 16, 18, 14, 18, 13. Productive.
He made an all-star game. He made an all-star game with Atlanta. So that was a great draft, though. Mm-hmm. You had Shaq, Mutombo, Leitner. You had Sprewell. You had Ori. You had Greg Anthony. No, Greg Anthony.
Hold up. Shaq didn't come out. Shaq came out with Alonzo Mourning.
Alonzo Mourning and Shaq. No, I said I put the wrong draft. It
was good.
92 draft.
Yep.
Mutombo was second to Larry Johnson. Actually, I got one of the greatest stories of all time that happened to me when I was a kid at a card show.
What you got?
So back in 1991, Larry Johnson was the number 1 player drafted. Number 2 that year was Dikembe Mutombo.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I go to the car show, and if you remember, they had the Fleer Rookie Sensations. Right?
Yep.
I had the Mutombo Rookie Sensation. I didn't have the Larry Johnson. The Mutombo Rookie Sensation was worth about $10. The Larry Johnson was worth $50. This is back in 91, 92. I go to the car show. I had my cards. The dealer, back then, they used to give you 50%, 40% of what your car was worth and Beckett and send you on your way, right? So the guy goes to my cards and he goes, I'll give you $10. I'm like, shit, I'll take it. So he takes the card, undoes the screw case. It was a four screw case, looks at the card, I can't give you 10. I'll give you 8. Right? I'm like, all right, cool. I'm thinking he's gonna give me $4, right? So he gives me the money. I leave. I'm at the show. About 30 minutes later, this white dude comes up to me with the police. Said, that's the guy who stole. He robbed me. He robbed me. Mind you, I'm 44, about to turn 45. I've never had a speeding ticket. I've never been in handcuffs. I've never done anything wrong in my life. This dude went and called the police and said I robbed him. So I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, I didn't take nothing from you. He said he pulled a switcheroo. I thought I was getting a Larry Johnson rookie sensation. So I said, why would I sell you a Larry Johnson rookie sensation for $8? I said, that car is over $50. So the cop looked. I said, officer, he thought he was robbing me. So I said, so he's telling you that he thought he was getting a $50 card from me for $8, but instead he bought a card that was worth $8.
Mm-hmm.
So the police officer looked at him and he said, is this true? And he goes, he said, so wait, so the card you thought you were getting was worth $50 and you were going to give him $8 for it? He said, I should put you in jail. And he said, matter of fact, go over there and get your card back. So the guy made the guy give me my card back, and I kept his money. But that was a situation where the dealers used to rob kids. That's why I look at some of these deals on YouTube now, where there are deals going by like with a 9-year-old kid making a deal with Mojo on $100 plus cars. I'm like, this seems very inappropriate. For like, what I'm saying, like the age gap, but the kids kind of know what's going on a little bit.
They know what's going on.
But
there's more information. Yeah, they know what's going on. Yeah. I've been around so many people between 8 and 24. They know what's going on. Man.
I'm not doing no deal with somebody that's under. I'm under 18. I probably won't do a deal.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not doing a deal. It just the optic looks. It looks weird. Now I will sell them a car.
I'll do a deal, but I'm not going to hit this person. I'm not going to negotiate the way I would someone else. I'm not going to do that.
I don't like the optic. Like if I have a card and someone wants to buy it from me, I'll sell them the card. I'm not trading with someone, and I'm not going to buy from them. Like if an 8-year-old comes up to me and is like, "Hey, you want to buy this card from me?" It's like, "All right, let me give you $5 for it, and it's a $100 card." Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. I'd just rather not be in that.
I just know out here in California, like this is normal.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, you be in a show and you'll turn around and somebody has a card and they're talking to you, or someone will come up to you and say, "Hey, you want to see what I have, or make a deal, or make a trade?" It's just the norm.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
So somebody asked a question about Kobe with Achilles stem cells. I think this is well known. Kobe talked about this.
Kobe didn't do the stem cell with his Achilles. He did it with his knee.
Yeah, he talked about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked a question about who's their favorite player. Who's the best player in the NBA right now? I think Greek Freak. He is a nice player. Someone said I love Jimmy Butler, but Giannis. I mean, I would have to probably lean towards Giannis. I'm trying to think about, am I missing someone? I mean, Luka's a pretty darn good player. I'm not a
fan of Luka. I don't like that type of player. I'm not into that.
Are you when you say that type of player? What do you mean?
Ball dominant, no defense, and move slow.
But you do know that you've seen that before.
I have, but I don't like it.
You sure you didn't like it before?
Yeah.
You positive?
100%. Now tell me who you say play like him.
LeBron.
LeBron doesn't play that slow.
LeBron is gonna hold. He moves like a snake. Man.
I don't like the guy who brings the ball up the court, does his thing, and then shoots a bad shot and doesn't get back on defense. Like
that's
I'm not.
You describing LeBron right now. I'm talking about right now. Right now, not LeBron back in Cleveland, not LeBron and back in. I'm talking about LeBron right now. That's who you're talking about.
LeBron to me now, I'm judging him differently now. He's trying to get the scoring title, LeBron. Like he's out for stats and numbers.
But I'm just saying, but J. Mike, you do know that you're describing LeBron.
No, LeBron plays some defense. Luka plays zero defense.
Okay.
Zero.
Maybe there's a difference when you're in your 4th, 5th year and you're in your 19th, 20th year. It might be
your 4th year, you're supposed to be playing defense.
But I'm just saying, if you just look at what your description is, and you take out what year they're playing, you're talking about the same person.
No, LeBron year 5 and Luka year 5 are different.
I agree. I agree with that.
Also a different NBA.
I agree with that. But I'm just saying, if you put on paper the player I don't want to see, that's the same characteristics.
I choose the different. Like as much as like LeBron still does things that if I was on his team I would want to be a part of. He still has the veil of being a team first guy still. Luka,
you don't think Luka's that?
Man, Luka is a very selfish, too overly ball dominant.
Wow.
If you pass him the ball, you're not getting it back. The only time you get the ball is when he gets stuck with it.
Well, who's on his team?
Like
who's on his team to like be rotating that ball back to?
Man, I don't care.
Brunson? You gonna move it back to Brunson? You gonna make sure Dinwiddie is taking that shot?
Tim Hardaway Jr. could shoot the ball.
Tim Hardaway Jr. is not even playing right now.
But what I'm saying, I'm not a fan of that type of ball. Like Allen Iverson. I loved Allen Iverson when I was a kid growing up. But now that type of player, I don't like the Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
You do know Luka's throwing like almost 10 assists a game, right?
Because they know he's going to shoot. So the shots, it's not like he's getting those super creative point guard type assists. He's getting the James Harden type assists without the lob.
Hold on here. We got to go to some. Hold on here.
Numbers can be deceiving.
I think you might have a little bias against Luka. Let me.
Now I like Luka. I like him, but I wouldn't want to play with him.
28.4 game points. He's averaging 9 assists a game. He averages 1 steal a game. He's shooting 35% from the 3-point line. He's shooting 46% from the field. He's averaging 35 minutes a game.
His usage rate, that's what you gotta look at. What's his usage rate?
Let me see if I can find that.
He's too ball dominant for me. Like who's not ball
just to give some context, who else is ball dominant for you?
Harden.
You think Luka and Harden are the same holding the ball people?
Yeah. LeBron's ball dominant too. You know who's not ball dominant? KD.
Who is that? No, KD's not. No, he's not.
Steph, not.
I mean, those kind of players though, that's a you got to think about how they score the basketball.
No, but they let the rest of the team do their thing, and then they save the day. Not just keep the ball the whole time, don't get nobody else involved, and hoisting up shots. I'm not into that.
I love the way you're like, man, Luka is, but then LeBron is all good. I can't find his usage rate. Well, I can't find it. I think it's 34. It's 35.4%.
It's too for what I like to watch. I'm not into it. Not now. My taste is changed. Like I appreciate a Draymond's game more than a Luka's game. Like just doing a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of appreciate that more. Not saying that he's better, but just saying I appreciate it more. Like LaMelo Ball. I like the fact that he's a little bit more of a well-rounded player. Like,
but he turns the ball over. Right?
Oh, but I like he turns the ball over trying to make a fancy pass to his teammate or trying to get other people involved. Like he's never gonna average 30 a game. He's gonna be like 22, 10, and 6 or 22, 10, like 22, 8, and 8. He's not gonna ever be like a crazy high volume scorer. He can, but that's not what he's gonna be.
Well, let's see what the people say. Cornelia says Luka's an absolute killer. I believe the kid is changing Luka on defensive stance. That's why kid coaching is great. I can see that too. Sin City said LeBron needs to retire.
Man, he's averaged 30 a game. I don't think so.
He played 56 games last season.
That's still he's still scored in points though.
He played 56 games last season. That tells me that he's playing to pass Kareem's record.
100%. He's gonna do it too.
Yeah, he's gonna do it. But when he does that, right, is he gonna pick up the GOAT Kareem?
No. It's nothing he could do. He's lost too many times.
Yeah.
He hasn't passed Kobe yet to me. So I mean we got problems.
Hasn't passed Kobe, huh?
Nah, he ain't passed Kobe to me yet.
Sounds like you and I have the same list of
you don't have LeBron in your top 10. I got LeBron number 3.
Hold up. So you got Jordan, Kobe, LeBron?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I forgot, man. So anything before 1979, hell with it, right?
No. I mean, it's just like a couple of people got kicked out. You got Bird got kicked out. And Magic is down way down on my list.
Nick Jackson says LaMelo equals kid.
No,
Nick Jackson.
No, that's not a good comparison.
No. I can't co-sign. I respect your opinion. Can't co-sign. Canton car collector. LeBron trying to hang around until the sun comes to the league. Maybe he thinks this is going to be like Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. or something.
It's going to be something like that.
I don't think it's going to be like that because both of those people could play ball.
No. But when Senior was still playing, he wasn't very good. He was literally there, back role playing. He wasn't. They weren't starting like you know.
No, I get that, but the son that came in, it's not.
Yeah.
Bronny.
Well, I'm being told that Maximus is the one. It's not Bronny. It's the other one.
I'm saying the youngest. I've told people this, man. I'm glad you brought this up. The youngest son is way more athletic. Can jump, dunk right now.
His head on the rim right now.
I don't care where his head is. The youngest son is more of the basketball player than Bronny.
They say
it's like LaMelo. I knew when they were real young. He's more of the ball player. He's more of a player than any of his other brothers.
It's Bryce. I think Bronny is good. I think he's a lot better than people think he is. But his athleticism has gotten very, very good over the last.
Have you seen Bryce at his age? What he's doing?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's just started dunking. Just started dunking. So I don't know. I see what people are saying, but Bronny has been on stacked teams where LeBron was always the main character on all his teams growing up. He is playing like Bronny is playing on teams where all the guys are going into the G League or straight to the NBA type situation. So I think their outlooks are a little bit different.
My biggest thing is that I wish Bronny the best off the court. When you pick up a sport that your father or someone in your family, your mother, was dominant at like that, that's rough, man. If you don't pan out, if you're not the player that somebody thought you were, that's rough.
Yeah, but I think he's good enough. The thing is, he's 6'2". You know, he hasn't gotten the 6'8" body. Now, if he was 6'8" and had the skills he had, he would be fine. But he hasn't hit that growth spurt. Now, if he's only going to be 6'2", 6'3", it's going to be tough. But if he's 6'6", he'll be all right because his body, his frame is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So, I'd be curious.
I just wish him the best, man.
Look, see if they got any more questions. I gotta get ready for the morning.
We got 2 more questions. When you look at his career in 10 years, you would see LaMelo lineup of kid. He's on schedule. He's up to Jordan to build a team. If not, LaMelo is going to go to Hollywood.
He's already scored more than Jason Kidd has ever scored in any season in his life.
Yeah, they're just totally different players to me.
Yes, they're not good. Lonzo is closer to Jason Kidd than LaMelo is.
Last question. Cornelius Gross. LeBron James is a GOAT statistically, but MJ is the GOAT worldwide.
That can be argued too.
Yeah, that's argued. One more.
Is Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, Shaq's son is at LSU.
He transferred.
Yeah, he's not at UCLA anymore, is he?
He transferred again. I think he went to another school.
Oh, okay.
Because he had the heart issue at LSU. He went to another school, but I think he's in a portal again.
Okay. J. Mike, you know it's always real having you here.
Yeah. I had a good one.
I want to thank you, Dexlo. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I wanted to have you on to get your perspective on Backyard Breaks, everything that's going on, what's happening in the NBA. You and I always have good conversations, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
2 old black men.
Talking about them good old days, man.
Good old days, man.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll have you on again. I hope you have a good one. You know, y'all be in touch no matter what.
Anytime, man. Hey, but look, before y'all go, my rookie card is available at athletikovereverything.com. You can get the base version or the autograph version. Now, mind you, I know it sounds kind of crazy. I have a rookie card. I'm actually pretty good in the stuff that I do. But you go to Mr. Athletic Over Everything on Instagram. You can see some of the stuff I do. No Hobbies, Only Obsessions is the YouTube channel. But,
and he also has great gear out there. He's got some great clothing for you all to look at as well.
All right, but cool. But I appreciate you having me on, man.
All right, brother. You have a good one, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everyone.